I see us.
Yeah, I don't know if we Okay, Walter. So yeah, let us know if you guys can see us now. I don't know. I went to a
Yep.
different thing. I went to a different thing, Lola. I went to a different thing. If the people
Let
out
me
there can see
refresh.
us, let me know. I'll start this crazy train all over again here. Um, I don't know if we need to, if everyone is either able
Yeah,
to get through to us or not. Let's see. Are we feeding out? Does anyone know if we're
I
feeding
think
out to the
I,
people?
I'm watching something.
I'm
Yeah,
watching something.
yeah. Let's see.
Yep, there's my
Uh,
finger, my peace sign. Whoop,
Oh, yeah.
there we go.
yeah, okay. Cruise Man says he sees us, so people could see us. But I think we'll start all over again.
Work.
The culprit here is Lola's. I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. It's your laptop, your
I told you not to use it.
any device that belongs to Lola Strange has voodoo. I'm gonna share it with the people. Maybe we can do like an exorcism on you,
I
Lola.
told you
Give
not
me your
to use
forehead.
it.
Come
I'm
on.
not giving you my
I
forehead.
call out the beasts.
Praise the
I
It's
Lord!
a-
Bring that devil!
Not to
Bring
use
that
the
devil
damn
out!
thing.
Bring the devil out!
Take your
now!
iPad, woman.
Come on.
Go update this thing.
I told you not to
Bring
use
it
the
out.
damn thing.
Oh my gosh.
Don't be
Okay,
scared.
Listen,
Come on.
you're hard of listening.
Bring that devil
We're
to
gonna
the
have-
forefront.
Take the damn iPhone.
we're gonna have to start this.
I left you the iPhone to
Down
use.
on
You
your
wouldn't
knees,
listen.
woman. Down.
I'm telling you, Lola.
I did it.
Straight. Am I lying? You have the worst luck with devices.
Yes, I do.
Anytime we use any device that has to do with you, there's a problem.
I said
Can you
yes,
go
I do.
update that thing? Update it, okay?
Get
Go
back
through
to the show.
whatever's wrong with that thing. Okay, we're gonna have to. You know what? We're starting this all over again. We're gonna start this.
Kill
That's
it,
what
man. I'm going to have
Lois
to start
does.
charging you for this.
We're gonna start all over. Are you guys
All
ready
right,
for
everybody.
this? Let's do this
For
all
sure.
over again.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation, Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Franklin Armory. Franklin Armory provides 100% US made firearms and awesome binary option triggers. Their focus and purpose is to provide freedom tools to all Americans, especially those in not so free states. So when you're in the market, please consider Franklin Armory. All right, let's see. We're starting this crazy trade all over again. Jazz hands, blah blah blah. Episode 902.
blah, blah.
98 bottles.
Beer on
98
the wall,
episodes left to
97
go.
bottles of beer.
Yada yada yada. We got Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms. There he goes. We got Flying Rich is in the is in the building with us. The crazy train is here. I blame Lola Strange. Cruise Man says hit him, Lola. That's from Cruise Man.
Hit him.
I blame Lola for all the technical difficulties right there. And we're here again. I don't know. You know, massive amounts of thanks to all the people out there who are patient enough to hit the restart on this thing over and over again. So hopefully we can get through this episode without me burning through all the minutes that I have on my phone, because that's what we're
Your Cricket Wireless.
yeah. No, this is a Verizon phone that I bought, and but you know, like Verizon gives you a certain amount of data that you could burn, and then they basically will just hobble the internet. Yeah, you know, they don't care if you're alive, if you whatever you're doing at that moment. You burn those minutes.
Goodbye.
Yeah, they don't kick you all the way out. They just strangle it.
Did you dick wham them?
Oh,
Did the hook ram him?
Dick wham. No, they don't
Dick
give a,
wham.
they don't care who I am. Dick wham is, do you know who I am?
Oh, I was going to say, what are you doing with your dick? Come on, man. Come on. Stop.
If only,
Stop.
if only it was that.
Stop it.
If only
That ain't natural. Don't do that shit.
Appalachian Gunrunner says finally I was like WTF, and 42 Chilled says no more unlimited. No, it's supposed to be unlimited, but they
Oh
only,
yeah, it is unlimited.
yeah, it's unlimited in the device. So they give you a certain amount of data that you could share. So I'm using hotspot. This is the trials and the tribulations of doing this podcast, man. Do you know how much money has been spent over the years on internet?
Too
to
much.
do this thing. Yeah, you know.
It was better when you were a baby face piece.
Oh, trust me, that has its own problems. You know, everything everything has a cost.
I was trying to work it out with Patrick to get a pizza delivered one day when you're out there.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Patrick would, if that pizza goes to his house, we're never going to hear about it.
You'll get one slice, Hank Strange. You'll get one slice.
Exactly. He's not gonna. He doesn't have any problem with you sending a pizza over there, but that pizza is not
actually. I think I've had a pizza delivered to every studio you've been to.
Yeah, I think you had a pizza. There was a pizza that went to. There was a pizza that went to that like that little warehouse thing that I had.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, and then there was a pizza that went to the building, the same building that Mo is in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't think you ever sent a pizza way back in the days when we were doing this at the BDU thing. I don't think you ever sent a pizza there. Yeah. So, and then a pizza didn't come here to the. Right now, I'm in front of the house. So, yeah.
Well, actually, now you leave the gate open because you don't have a dog anymore.
I still don't leave the gate open, but you know, the gate is.
Send it to him by FedEx. He might see it next century.
Yeah, I might never get it.
Don't deliver it.
Yeah, I may never, ever get it. So, Cruise Man says, in other words, Marley didn't want the van out front anymore. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't Marley or Patrick. It's just the people in that neighborhood. The people in that neighborhood that had issues, you know, or were getting. Huh?
He's not the FBI. What's he doing there?
Yeah, and actually now Patrick has pretty badass internet now.
Yeah, he's
really?
He's running fast. He's running faster than me, supposedly.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. His internet's
really
good. Yeah.
And mine is.
Well,
cooking.
I'm in the frickin'. So Hank has no internet. So it goes Patrick, Walter, and then me, and then Hank.
What kind of internet do you? Well, you're not home right now, so what's your internet?
No, I'm not home. I'm off the phone. I got Comcast. I'm just paying for the cheapest internet that they have because I hate Comcast.
Yeah, but when you do the show with John, you're using John's internet, right?
No, I mean it's my home internet.
No, I'm saying you're using your internet, but everything's getting hosted through John's internet, though.
Well, all right, so you're using Ecamm, we use StreamYard, and StreamYard goes to wherever their servers are. Ecamm, I think, brings everything into your location and then broadcasts it out again.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that's why you're having bandwidth issues.
Yeah, that makes it more intense. You know, it makes it more intense.
Right.
192, 328.
Oh, Walter's giving us up-down speeds. Okay, well, good for you, Walter.
Yeah, I'm like 5 up and 60 down.
Good for you, Walter. Good for you.
Rich, before we fixed it here and got a new modem, I was shocked how effing slow it was here. It was like you're talking like 5 and 9 and all this stuff like this.
Yeah.
We had an ancient modem, so.
Yeah. Shooting Gallery Annie says, at one point even my internet was better than Hank's. Laugh out loud. We all remember my old place and the internet issue. Yeah, I don't think so, Shooting Gallery Annie. Your internet always sucks. My internet has always been better than Shooting Gallery's internet. I refuse to be so insulted.
But yes, the Mom's Basement internet is pretty good.
Oh, it is? Oh, well, there you go. He's never going to move out, Mom. I'll tell you that. He'll never get rid of it now.
I kind of use that and tease him about it, but I'm proud of him. He's been living on his own for, I don't know, like 10 years, and he decided, hey, I'm going to save money to buy a house, and I'm moving back with Mom.
Yeah.
So good for him. That's not an easy move.
I'm not going to knock it.
As long as everybody's cool with it.
Yeah.
As long as there's no underlying tension.
Yeah. You know, as long as he takes out the garbage and does the dishes,
empties the dishwasher, and like that. Yeah.
I mean, if he gives his mom a couple of bucks, you know, if she makes him pay some kind of rent, you know, it's all good. And then if he and his wife sleep in separate bedrooms, it's all good. There you go.
Say what?
What?
I'm
What are you
just
talking about,
teasing.
Willis?
I'm just teasing. I don't know what the policy is over there. I know there's parents like that. You could be married and you go back to their house. You have to go to separate rooms.
They're married
What?
and they have triplets on the way. So.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, okay.
When I first went to New Orleans with Peggy, the first Christmas, first Christmas I went with her before we were married, I had a room and she had a room, but as soon as Mama went to sleep, something happened.
You slept.
I can't.
Nocturnal nuptials.
I didn't
Walter.
I wasn't seeing this. What?
I got to call my daughter because her boyfriend slept over for a couple weeks back.
I'm telling.
No. I hope he got the shotgun rundown. Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
I think there's a scorpion problem in that house. You hear me?
Yeah. Shooting Gallery says, "Thanks, Rich. My mom loves me being home, and my mom adores my wife." There you go.
Well, that's a good situation then.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. No,
but make sure you guys take out the garbage, do the dishes, go get the mail. What else? Is there a dog
Kick
that
the
needs
cat.
to be walked?
Kick the cat.
Yeah.
What if the dog, whatever,
Yeah.
and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he has pets, but I'm proud of him. I really am, because that's a big deal to, hey, I'm going to do this, save money, get a house.
Yeah. I don't know if they have pets
That's a big deal.
I know they don't believe in children. So.
I'm a little worried about the ATF now, because I got a dog.
Oh, come on.
Oh. You have a dog now? Do you have a dog?
I have a dog.
What kind of dog do you have?
A dachshund.
Oh my God, that's.
He's got a hand-me-down
You got.
dog.
Yes, I did.
Where'd you get this dog from?
So really, it was my father-in-law's dog, and he was in the hospital, and the dog needed surgery, so we took care of it, and it ended up our dog.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. I get it. You don't want the dog to be homeless after all these years of service. Either that, or you can.
Dog. And so this is the first dog. And the dog, when I go to my father-in-law's house, used to bark its full head off and hide. It was. You thought if you ever had that dog, you'd have to put it down or something, or get it sedatives or something. Mm-hmm. Dog's been great. Dog doesn't bark. Dog doesn't, do anything bad. It's more like a cat than a dog.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. Well, you could always do what like Indian people do, and then throw the dog on the same.
What? Eat it?
Throw him. No, come on now. That's totally different. Totally different culture you want to go after there. But you could you could throw him on the funeral pyre.
Grill.
Yeah, you could throw him on the funeral pyre. Like what
is that what they do?
Yeah, when you die in India, traditionally you get cremated. And then supposedly your wife is supposed to get cremated with you. You're supposed to throw her ass on the fire too. Everybody goes.
Wow.
Everyone goes on the fire.
Does Lola know what she signed up for?
They don't actually. Yeah. Lola is hoping that if I kick the bucket, it's gonna be the African tradition getting played out, not the Indian.
A roadside toss to the roadside or something, or what?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? That's a good question. I don't know. I have to.
I don't think
that. No, they don't do that in that I know of.
Wait,
well, at least not in Ghana.
Are
they
you
don't do that.
talking about Lola's roots?
Yeah. On the Ghanaian side, I wonder what they do when you kick the bucket. I don't know. I don't think they do.
Don't want to know.
They don't have anything like that, man. They're not. They're not that dramatic. It takes a very dramatic culture that if like your husband dies, you go, I'm sorry, you're totally fine. You're 100% healthy, but your ass has to get on that fire right now.
No. No.
Yeah. I can just imagine I know that doesn't really happen in India anymore for anyone who wants to get mad about it.
Since last week, right?
Yeah. But that's how if that was really a tradition somewhere, right? As soon as the husband dies, The wife is probably running away.
Out of there.
She's like, yeah,
She's
I'm
out
out.
of
These
out of there.
These people's asses are not getting to throw me on.
He's in the first ta-ta or tick-tick or whatever that little vehicle is on heading in another direction.
Yeah. I'll do a weekend at Bernie's, man. I'll say his ass is not dead. He's not dead.
Tuk-tuk?
Yeah.
Tuk-tuk. Oh, you mean the Tata, the car? Or the tuk-tuk, the, like, three-wheeler?
The tuk-tuk. The tuk-tuk.
The tuk-tuk.
She's hopping in she's firing up the tuk-tuk and getting the hell out of Dodge, man.
Yeah, that's like the little taxis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of which, we were talking about FlyingRich flying into Safety Harbor over there, and you guys were asking about my my electric scooter. This is what it looks like right here. Okay? So it's a Unagi, and it's actually dual motors. So both of the motors here.
No way.
Run. Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
Walter thinks they're really expensive because they're not $1,000. They're like 9 something. But that's actually cheap. That's actually cheap for an e-scooter, Walter. I don't think you realize.
I
that.
went searching
that's like
on the
3 or
interweb.
4 PSA AR-15s right there.
Mm.
Actually, right now, one of them you can get for $3.99, which is which one is that? I forget what brand.
One thing I could tell you about ARs or any guns out there, they won't take your ass anywhere. Just like they can't take their ass somewhere.
Oh yeah, and you're not the right hood, man. They'll take you wherever you want to go.
Oh really? You could jump on that like a broom and fly it around.
No. You just stand out the road. You say, "Get out of the car."
Oh, I see.
Motherfucker.
That's you.
That's you.
That's you doing that. You better hope that dude don't come up out of that car with an AK.
They come out with his Draco.
That
Draco right in your face.
Yeah, you might catch a couple of shots right through the door.
Let me get my Draco.
So,
Big minute here. Let me get my Draco.
Brandon Herrera released a video today, and he went to NRAM, and he went over and interviewed all of the protesters, all of the anti-gun nutjobs. And it was funny. He's kind of leading them. He's like, there should be, like, when you go to a gun shop, a federal background check to buy a gun, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're like, yeah, that's what we need. That'll solve everything.
But these people have I don't know if it's Rent-A-Idiot. Do they find these people at the food stamps line? Where do they get these people?
Rich, that's the typical anti-person. They have no idea what they're against. They're just against it.
Well,
whether it's red meat or guns or self-lighting matches. They don't know why, but they are.
Let me say this. I'm not arguing that point that you're making, but I would say to steal a line that people try to attribute to Trump. You know how Trump says there's good people on both sides, and then the left use that
yes.
all the time.
Yeah.
There's idiots on both sides of everything. Sorry.
Oh, dude.
There's idiots on the anti-gun side, and there's idiots on our side, on the gun side. There's idiots everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm out to dinner with some conservative political people. They have a nice house on the water, and then they start talking about lizard people, and I'm like,
okay, we'll continue the story. They start talking about lizard people.
Aliens and lizard people
and what's the problem with that? What is your problem with them talking about the reality that there's lizard people?
Is yours flat too? Is it flat earthers too? Or
Walter's like, what is happening? Go ahead, Walt.
I get that, but once again, they're not looking to take away my constitutional rights. So,
but here's the funny thing. So I didn't see the video from Brandon, but that at the NRA, some liberal comedians snuck into the NRA meeting with Wayne LaPierre, right? And
was it Wayne LaPierre or
no? He snuck in there with Wayne LaPierre. And he did this whole skit where they actually let him get on the mic. They let him get on the microphone at the meeting. Yeah, this is I was talking about this, I think, yesterday. Let me see if I could pull it up for you. But they let him get on the mic, And then he kept saying, everyone keeps talking bad about Wayne LaPierre, but every time something bad happens, he offers hopes and prayers and hopes, or whatever that. And they just let this guy keep talking, and eventually they realize, like, oh, this guy is punking the shit out of us.
And that goes to show you they have absolutely no security. Zero.
When they would have had security if it was like, there's certain people they know and they won't let get on there. Do you see what I'm saying? If it was
Borat.
No, not Borat. They've let Borat trick them. If it was guys like us that don't like the NRA, but we're pro gun guys, you wouldn't even be allowed in that thing.
What?
You wouldn't even be allowed in there.
You're just gonna hand the mic to some dude?
That's what they do. You pay the money. They gave a microphone to Trump. They let Trump speak at that thing. Why the hell would they let Trump speak at that? That's one of the people that did the worst. We're gonna realize that what Trump did when he was in office was one of the worst things for guns that he did. The making bump stocks, into a machine gun. Now that's going to be used for everything. Now every fucking thing is going to be a machine gun, right? And they let Trump talk up there. But here's the thing. Comedian infiltrates NRA event to mock Wayne LaPierre. Thoughts and prayers. That's I'm not going to play the whole thing. But that happened.
Back to what I said. Mm-hmm. You just hand the mic to anyone? Trump wasn't anyone, okay?
I'm not saying that, obviously. But why would Trump be invited? Like, what has Trump done for guns?
What has the NRA done?
What is the NRA fucking done for guns?
I can't argue that. That's true.
Where's the NRA on this whole thing, this shooting? Nowhere. Zero. None. Zero.
Like the comedian was saying, thoughts and prayers.
Their thoughts and prayers. You know what? You can pray all you want. If you want to pray, great. Mm-hmm. That's not going to stop you from losing your shit. Mm-mm. Sorry, it ain't gonna. You can pray till you're freaking.
The NRA is going to stand behind Republicans as they sell the Second Amendment down the river. The NRA is going to stand right behind them as they do that. The point I'm making, that's what they did with Trump. When Trump decided to do this, the NRA didn't get up in arms. They didn't say, hey, hell no, you can't do this. As a matter of fact, they invited him back. The very next time they're able to, run a show, oh, why don't you come back and tell everyone how awesome you are? Walther Arms has been making concealed carry handguns for over 90 years, starting with the PPK. Today, Walther is based in the good old US of A and still builds quality firearms like the PPQ and PDP for personal defense and competition. So when you're in the market, please consider Walther Arms. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Walther Arms. Yeah, what was that you're saying, Walt? What was your...
Where's my 22 Magnum automatic pistol? They have a new one, Rich. They just came out.
Yeah, they do. Walther has a new 22 Magnum.
They brought out an NRA. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to find out from Hootie Who, of course.
There you go. This was announced at the NRA, but the NRA is totally inconsequential, so none of us, or most of us, don't know about that, except for people who went. What were you? Rich was saying something when we cut. What was it you were saying, Rich?
Oh, God, now I don't remember.
Yeah, you were saying something that was pretty profound, but yeah. I think that it's weird that Trump started all this shit, that and he didn't do anything about the ATF. Right.
Oh,
he didn't do anything
the NRA
about them.
Told Trump
yes, they
taking
did.
bump stock was okay.
Yeah, that was the negotiation, and that will be the same negotiation now that they're going to do. So to me, they're totally useless. I got no love for them. I don't hate people going to the NRA show. I don't hate the companies going to the NRA show, but I just hate the fucking NRA. I got no respect for their actions.
I do, because look, there's organizations. Let's put it this way: if you're saying, "Oh, give me money to feed the children," I'm going to feed the starving children, and you buy a jet and you don't feed the children. What the hell? What's going on here? And that's all I see the NRA as, is they're preying upon our good nature, telling us they're going to protect our rights and blah, blah, blah. And then where's the money go? What are they doing with it? They let other organizations like FPC or GOA fight 9/10 of the battle, and then jump in at last minute and like get one of their lawyers in front of a camera and say, "See, we won this for you. Send us money."
Yeah. I've got no use for a lot of these different people. It's not, trust me, I'm not, I don't know. I don't hate Trump, but I definitely don't have any respect for the NRA, And I don't think that Trump was, a good president for gun people, for the Second Amendment, or even the Constitution, to be honest with you. And I personally don't want to see him run for office again. I would like to see him just go happily into the sunset.
How much of a gun guy is Donald Trump Jr.?
Don't count on it. People always say he's a gun guy. He's a gun guy. He's a gun guy. He's in his daddy's pocket. Sorry, he's in his daddy's pocket.
And it's like we saw him a couple of years back. He was walking around with Matt, Demo Ranch at SHOT Show.
Mm-hmm. That does not mean a fucking thing. That doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Let me ask you something. When all this shit is going down, where are these Demo Ranch people? They have this huge audience that they could be out there and say, "Hey guys, this is what's going on." You don't have to get up and tout it all for your whole thing, but just bring people aware and help. They're too fucking scared to do it because they'll lose their YouTube channel, won't they?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And that is one of my biggest fucking things about these YouTube people. To be quite honest with you, they have this audience. At least they could say, "Hey guys, pay attention to what's going on." You don't have to spend hours doing it, but they don't. They don't.
I think you hit the nail on the nail on the head.
Money, baby, money. It's all about the money.
Yeah, and listen, there's if you want to get that money and you think, hey, if I start talking about this, I can mess this thing up. There's still other things that you could do. So if it really mattered that, let's say that Trump and Demo Ranch, and I don't have any kind of problems with Demo Ranch. I think Demo Ranch is cool or whatever. But I don't have any personal things with him. But here's how I look at like Demo Ranch and Trump Jr. hanging out, right? I see all of that as conservative Hollywood. It's just like if you look at Fox News, if you look at Fox News, if you look at all these guys, they're just conservative Hollywood. So they're just playing the game, in my opinion, of being gun people and pro guns and all of that, but they don't actually, walk the walk of being pro guns or pro Constitution or any of that shit. At the end of the day, they're all about themselves. If Trump Jr. was about it, there's nothing wrong with him hanging out with Demo Ranch, but maybe he would spend some of his celebrity and like let that light fall on some other people who are fighting for this stuff. Or even Demo Ranch, if he didn't want to on his channel get into that, he could take some of his celebrity or his light and help some folks who do that, and do something about it. I mean, the only person I can really think that he maybe does that with is who you mentioned before, Brandon Herrera, right? I mean, I think that's one of those guys that's in that clique that I could say that guy is for the Second Amendment and puts it out there. But I don't know about everyone else in the clique. So
and even Brandon, and I don't want to badmouth him, but he doesn't push it hard.
Because that's the end of things once you do.
Yeah, I mean the powers that be will do to you what they've done to us. For example,
his numbers will go in half overnight. You want to bet? You want to place a bet? I'll pay you a bet.
And probably, I mean,
So I get that. I get that.
People ask me about, Matt. They don't expect me to know Matt, but they're like, "Hey, what do you guys think of Matt at Demo Ranch?"
What are you talking about? Matt. Why are you saying Matt like you're friends with Demo Ranch?
Well, I'm not. Oh,
okay. Yeah.
Can I say
I know.
I say hey?
Yeah, I know people's name, but yeah, I don't know. You're saying it like No, I don't. You're not friends. You're not friends with him, right? You don't hang out with him, so right.
No, don't know him. Don't have him in my phone book. None of that.
Okay.
But what I'm getting at, so people ask me, "Hey, what do you guys on YouTube?" Not like I'm on, YouTube. I got 5,000 subs. It's not a big deal. But they're like, what do you guys think of Matt? And I say, well, and they're bringing up the point like, hey, he doesn't ever say, hey, there's an important vote. Call your congressman, call your senator, But what I tell people is I think of it as a gateway drug. This might be the little thing that catches your attention. You say, ooh, guns are fun, guns are cool, I might buy one. And then they start watching Hank Strange or John Crump or whoever and say, wow, I should join GOA or I should whatever, FPC or one of these other organizations that does real stuff as opposed to the NRA. So I kind of think of him as a gateway drug. Could he, who knows? Maybe Matt's, zipping his lip, making money, and writing a fat check to GOA. I don't know.
None of us know. I think at the end of the day, I'm not gonna, I don't hate anyone for doing whatever they do, making their money, and I believe in freedom. You just don't have to do it. You don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. It's just the way that it is, and also the way that it is. I think outside of maybe the activism of it, most people, the bigger audience, doesn't really give a shit about what we're talking about. Right? None of us have millions of people subscribe to us or dying to hear what we have to say. When people out there, when they want to know about the Second Amendment, they turn to conservative Hollywood. They'll look at the people on Fox News to figure out what should happen about these gun things. That's just the reality is that's where most of the people are. It's just like if we have an argument or we have let's say we have a conversation, not an argument, about race. Most of the people in America at this point are white people, right? That's just the reality. Also, most of the people in America don't really give a shit about the Constitution or the Second Amendment or any of that kind of stuff. It's kind of the reality and why there's folks out there that go down that path. To most people, it's boring to sit there and have that conversation about the Second Amendment or why guns are important, why it's important for you to be able to defend yourself. Until some shit comes up like what happens in the Ukraine, and then people realize, oh shit, I might have to be able to defend myself. Or until the cities start burning down, and people are burning your city down around you and dragging your ass out of your business and kicking the shit out of you, then they go, oh, wait a second. I might need to defend myself, right? When things went bad in America a couple of years ago, those same the same thing that you're talking about, Brandon saying to them, oh, it'll be they should have some kind of background check. Those are all the people who went into gun stores and said, what the hell do you mean I have to do a background check?
Yes, you're right.
So most people just don't give a shit.
Right. You mean I can't have a gun show loophole?
Yeah, the gun show loophole. What a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
I'm so tired of hearing that fucking... another word I hate, and please nobody ever... Bipartisan. Bipartisan gun control. Bipartisan. It's like...
Or common sense gun control. That's my other favorite.
Well, common sense is to leave me alone. That's the gun control.
Yeah. At the end of the day...
Back to the big YouTubers, though. Remember, a large portion of their viewership's not even in this country.
That's true.
They're sitting in a hut in Ukraine, or a hut in Africa, or a hut in Canada, and
or India, or the Philippines, or somewhere else where you can't have guns.
Well, or they even if they can have guns, it doesn't make any difference,
right?
Because they have no power influence here. No.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah.
People in Ukraine have guns. They don't have all the guns like we have.
The people in the Ukraine were not freely able to get guns. Right now they have guns, you're right. But when this whole thing started off, they were literally teaching these people with cardboard cutouts of AR-15s or AKs.
But
they didn't have guns all like that.
Not in mass. Okay. That's like everybody says about England.
Ukraine is not listen, at the same time that Biden is calling to ban guns in America, he's sending more weapons to the Ukraine. Okay? This is one of the typical. I know this is the part of the world where your people hail from, but at the end of the day, this is not like an awesome place on the face of the planet. It's a very corrupt. It's a very corrupt place. You know, it's a place where people are really not free.
So is this place.
I'll take America over Ukraine. I'll take America over Ukraine.
Look who's the president. His son is a freaking crackhead or whatever he was.
When they talk about voter integrity, I think we're out of 67 whatever countries, we're 67. Meaning at the bottom.
The thing with Ukraine, it doesn't matter how corrupt the politicians are. It's the people that are suffering, not the politicians.
Yes.
They're not suffering. It's the poor people on the street.
They're taking that $40 billion. They're lining their pockets.
Okay, but let me ask you this: should we give more of a shit about the poor people suffering in the streets of Ukraine than we give a shit about the poor people suffering in the streets of any other country?
Well, no, hang on. First, you take care of your country. You take care of the people here. Ukraine. The people in Ukraine are not stupid people. They're not. They weren't living in huts, and digging water out of a ditch on the side of the road. They know how to take care of themselves. They know how to, and it's been pretty obvious they've been fighting back, giving the Russians a hell of a time. The Russians are a bunch of oafs. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. The Russians have built up into this superpower. Well,
yeah, they're kind of like the emperor has no clothes on kind of situation, right?
Like I said in the past, they don't have the Soviet Union anymore. There's no feeder countries. There's no Eastern Bloc. There's no Cuba feeding. Well, there is Cuba still, and they have deals. But back in the old days, they sucked the blood out of all these other countries to keep themselves going. Now they don't have that.
Yeah, Ukraine is a desperate move on their part.
Right. And to think that they're going to sweep across Europe. You're a fucking idiot if you think that, because the only reason they swept across Europe in World War II because we were the ones giving them all the weapons from the backside.
So why won't they sweep across Europe? They won't sweep across Europe.
They can't sweep across their own neighborhood, much less Europe.
And people will fight back, right? People are going to fight back.
Every one of those countries is getting ready for it.
Yeah. So at the same time that people around the world are fighting back and shoring up their defenses, we're living in a country where the people who run this country, not just Democrats, okay, this country is not run by Biden. I'm just telling you something. He's not even fucking running the White House. Okay? There's people running him. A fucking Easter bunny is running Biden.
What was he saying about 9mm bullets and taking them out of people's
blow
bodies?
Your lung out.
No, I think he said you could take 22s out. But the question is, point is...
But a 9mm, 22 will land in your lung, but a 9mm will blow the lung out of the body.
Yeah. I thought his wife was the fake doctor, not him. I don't understand. Brian Quick says 81 million vote tank. 81 million votes. You guys.
Yeah. He had a majority of the vote. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And Hitler's still alive too, someplace. Also,
right.
He escaped Germany.
Listen, this country is run by the left and the right, regardless of who's in the White House or who has the majority. The country is run by the left and the right, and the right also right now is gearing up to make some fucking concessions and be reasonable.
Well, that's because we got frickin' spineless a-holes like Goober Lindsey Graham and who's the House? I'm sorry, Senate minority. Why can't I think? Mitch McConnell.
McConnell.
Yeah. Those two guys are tremendous POSs.
Yeah. Appalachian Gunrunner says 2 years ago every Trump supporter talked shit about Ukraine. Yeah, people forget, like Ukraine, the Bidens, and including Hunter that you were just talking about, is very closely related to the Ukraine. There's a lot of corruption going on over there, and the Biden family has made a shit ton of money out of the Ukraine that we so happen to now we're in a position now we're giving them even more fucking money that they're gonna get, right? Where it's just weird. It's coincidental, right? Isn't it weird and coincidental that this whole thing that was a problem a couple of years ago in the Ukraine is now a problem all over again?
Because they need more money.
That's weird.
They need more value money.
Yeah, it's weird. Night Train says, I always remember Hank a few years ago at SHOT Show asking all these gun reps if they support the 2A and how some of them hesitated and equivocated. Yeah, that's some of the reasons why I'm like
That's messed up.
That's why I'm like blacklisted a little bit. But you know what? There are companies out there who support us, like you guys see in here, and you see Walter right here. You know, and you hear Walter's passion, and you've heard other people's passions on here. But yeah, it's true. I mean, you know, we're surrounded. I think that's the theme of what's going on. We've got people who are our enemies, and we're also not helping ourselves either, really. Go ahead, Walt.
And what I was saying about people suffering, that doesn't matter whether it's in Ukraine or it's in Africa or it's in or any of these other places where there's shit going on. 9 times out of 10, they're all corrupt anyways at these places. Mm-hmm. But it's always the grannies and the little kids that end up on the bottom of the pile, cooking cooking their food out in the street on a fire. You know, and the whole. You've seen the whole thing before, mm-hmm. So. Mm-hmm. And then just
listen. If someone out there is listening to me and they think I don't care about people, I do care about people. Okay, and because I care about people. Here's what I think every single human being is entitled to: claws and fangs. Okay, defense mechanisms, the right to fight back. Okay, and whether you're talking about somewhere in the Ukraine or whether you're talking about some country in Africa or some country somewhere else around the world, the people of those countries have the right to defend themselves, to fight back against their government. All of the worst places that we could think about anywhere in the world, with white people suffering and black people suffering and all the other people in the rainbow spectrum in between that are suffering, the people who lead them and lead them into the fucking abyss, those people are always good. Isn't that weird?
Oh yeah.
Isn't it where? Yeah, I know. I said abyss weird. I usually would say abyss, but
abyss into the abyss.
And I wanted to enunciate the A in it. But think about it. Like, people are fucking starving in North Korea, but Kim Jong Un is fat as fuck, right?
Well, that's not because he eats more. That's because, first off, he's a deity, and secondly, that his body is so efficient.
At storing.
You know what it is? His daddy lived on Hennessy. If I remember correctly, they imported Hennessy by the case in North Korea. That was his favorite liquor.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised by that. But isn't it funny how the politicians, the people on top, the leaders on top are always good and the people are suffering. We got like 8 seconds here, and then we're going to a break. We're going to be right back here in a second with more vitriol.
2, 1.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like High Point Firearms and Full Forge Gear, bags and gear for everyday life. Did you know High Point is an American family-owned and operated company located in Ohio with over 30 years of manufacturing experience? High Point is proud to be the home of the working man's gun and your source for affordable handguns and carbines with a lifetime warranty. So when you're in the market, please consider High Point. Lola Strange says, I have a potty mouth. Was I cursing a lot? No.
Oh, yeah.
Did I? Was I? I don't know.
That's
I don't think
you're just emotionally stimulated.
No, I think we're having a good conversation, which is what we always aim for here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's Gorn time. Can I talk about Gorn?
Do you have some Gorn? Look at poor Flying Rich sitting over here Gornless. When you talk about the suffering people.
Stop with the fingers. You're scaring me. Okay. There,
stop. I wasn't pointing about anyone.
I'm gonna have to go see a counselor. Stop.
Yeah. What millimeter are those fingers?
Yeah.
10.
Oh.
What did you say there?
Oh God.
They're 3 millimeter. I just posted in the chat that on Friday or Saturday, my dad was here because he had hernia surgery, and
how's he doing?
I guess he's doing all right. I didn't talk to him today, but he was funny too because he got out of surgery and he's in the back and he's awake and everything. And I go back there and his blood pressure was a little up, and so the anesthesiologist wanted to talk to him or something. But so finally they let him go, and he goes, "I don't feel too bad." He's walking out, kind of waddling out. Well, he didn't feel too bad because anesthesia was still in doing his thing.
He's still flying.
He got home later on, a couple hours later, and he's like, "Oh, I can't move." Because that's right down when you get the hernia down low. That's where you cough, you move.
Oh yeah.
Everything happens through your diaphragm. Yeah.
Down low and everything. Yeah. So that was on Friday. He stayed Saturday. On Saturday, he goes, "I think I'm staying until tomorrow." I was like, "Oh, that's not a bad idea. Spend the night, another night." Mm-hmm. And then on Sunday morning, he finally drove home. But yeah, he. I think it surprised him how sore he was from that. But we were sitting around on Saturday, and I'm looking on the interweb, and he's sitting right next to me, like gawking over the side of my eye, looking like this, And I wasn't looking at anything bad. I was just looking at gun stuff. And I found an ad from Centerfire Systems. They have the Turkish-made 9mm 45s or 1911s for $299.
$299.
Whoa!
Yeah, so you ordered us all one of those, right?
I ordered 2 of them.
Okay, one for you, one for me.
Because my dad goes, order some, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it. And it's like, okay, Dad, okay, I'll do it. And it's like, so I do it, and I get it all done. I use my credit card, and he goes, how'd you pay? He didn't even say that I paid for it and did it with my credit card and all that stuff. He's like, we need to go to the bank. I'll give you cash. Well, that was Saturday. The bank was closed. His bank was closed on Saturday. So I said, Dad, don't worry about it. I'll get it from you in time. There's no big rush, So yeah, Turkish made. That was a deal. $299.
Are they still available? I'm going there right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said to you, Walter, I want one. Order me one. No, I'm pretty sure. I'm looking right now. I'm pretty sure I said yes. I want one. Order me.
Where's
one.
Mine? The typical response from Hank Strange is, "Where's mine?" Or you get mine, or what?
Yeah.
Are they still there? Or are they going?
Are they there?
I'm not seeing it.
These were
Hold on. Let me go.
These were the Cerakote. They were black Cerakote on the gun, supposedly.
Let me do caliber.
9mm.
9mm.
All the dangerous millimeters. Does so Biden actually thinks he's going to ban 9mm, huh? Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Okay, so here's one that was $4.99 and is out of stock.
No, Walter sees these deals and he knows damn well that I will take a $200 9mm.
No, $300.
$300.
Yeah,
$299.
Yeah,
$299, which is still a deal. It's
$299. It's $1 less than $300. It's $200.
Walter, I thought we were friends.
Oh, and you know what? The best part, it was free shipping on that too.
Walter, I thought we were friends.
Yeah. When I say hey, I will take one. That means go back in there, order another one. They probably didn't have that many. They probably didn't have that.
Hey, Strange, aren't you an FFL?
Yeah, but where was I?
Yeah,
I was on the road at that moment. I can't drive and buy stuff at the same exact time. That would be
you could hand the phone to Lola.
Huh?
You could hand the phone to Lola.
I'm not sure where I don't know where Lola was at that time.
Well, if you were driving in the RV, she was in the right seat.
I'm not. When was that? When did you do that? Well, was that last week?
That was on. I believe that was on Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
Because they had a Memorial Day special sale thing going on, I guess.
I hate to say, I get an email from Centerfire every day, and I get so much I don't even look anymore.
Oh, you got to check. You got to check the email.
They every once in a while they'll throw out some specials, and it's really good. They've been trying to peddle these beat up old Colts and Smith & Wesson revolvers. Did you see any of those? More wheel guns in stock, and there was these beat up. They look like what happens in Central America in these countries, the security guards carry wheel guns, regular revolvers, and people like Century Arms buy this shit, and they bring it in the country, and usually they sell that stuff off really cheap. Well, since people have been, jonesing for guns, and it's a Colt or it's a Smith and Wesson, woo-hoo-hoo, they were asking like $4.99 for these beat up old pistols and stuff, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm gonna wait till they. I can't believe people buy this stuff. I really can't. I mean, you buy a gun like that, and you get it refinished, you're gonna have $1,000 in that damn gun before you're done with it.
Oh yeah,
it's not
yeah.
worth. I mean, it's
Or
not
just
a
leave it jacked
Python
up.
or. What's that?
Or just leave it jacked up.
Yeah.
Call it
Well,
patina.
yeah, but if you're, I don't have a problem running with a jacked up looking gun as long as it's $199 or $99.
Yeah, if it
Not,
works.
not $4.99. Come on. I mean, nothing worse, nothing better than a good battlefield pickup looking gun. Come on.
Yeah.
That gives it character. So, anyways, I couldn't pass that deal up, and then yeah. So then I acquired.
Okay.
And I got a deal in works right now over a couple of firearms that I think that are really cool. So.
Have you found my arm pistol yet? This is what I need to know.
Yeah. I haven't heard from that guy lately. I don't know where he's at.
This is what I need to know. Okay, so are we going to see actual Gorn? Because you're talking about a deal, a thing here. We're not.
Well, I found this thing when I was looking around. It's
Uh-huh.
a pistol I built a while back. Got a compact entry stock and safety harbor firearms on it. And a brace.
Tail hook.
Tail hook. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
We got to remember that. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. This is. I think this is. I don't know if it's 223 or 300 blackout. I can't remember, but something I put together a while back, just playing with.
And that I think the barrel, if I'm not mistaken, comes off of that, right? Isn't that a quick detach barrel on there?
No, this
looks like
an
it.
old school, just an old school handguard.
Okay.
But
All right. I thought it was one of
this
those.
little red dot's been on 50 cals and everything else. It's one of those sights that I have that I can't seem to break.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was maybe all. I think it was all of like $25 when I bought it.
Okay.
So
yeah.
It still works.
So you're saying that $25 Amazon red dot will work on your 50?
This actually came from Century Arms.
It'll work until it doesn't.
And you know what? The battery's still good in it. So yeah, I've shot this.
But the most important thing,
Mm-hmm.
Walter, does it go to 11?
No.
On the settings?
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, it goes past 11.
Yeah. If you want to make imaginary claims. Okay, cool. So listen, I'm going to show my gun that I brought in here. I'm going to be the only person that can actually do this, but it's not going to be easy. So I'm going to go full screen. I don't even know how I'm going to actually do this. This is a big gun coming over. Big. Huge. I don't think there's enough room.
Don't strain yourself.
There is not enough room. I don't know if I could even... Could you guys even see
get ready
this
to take him to the emergency room. He's straining himself.
Hernia inbound. But yeah. So
I know what that is.
Yeah, let's see if we can go this way.
I know a good doctor.
So check it out. There it goes. This is my SHTF 50, which is so huge it can't even show the whole thing on the screen.
Bag fed.
That's how insane this is. Yeah. And what optic do I have on here? Oh, this is the Athena from Primary Arms. So yeah, there we go.
Is that a
big old
double 4473 firearm?
Big old gun. I don't know what you're talking about. So there we go. My bolt action 50 BMG from Safety Harbor Firearms. That's it.
You have an accessory on that I meant to buy. You got the bipod up front.
The bipod, yep. You didn't get yours with the bipod? You didn't get yours with the bipod? Oh, man.
Walter didn't, accessorize. He didn't say, oh, hey, this is a la carte and you need these things. I wanted to buy it. I forgot about it.
You should have consulted with me, man. I would have told you all the
Well, I didn't want to pay 15% more.
Oh, well. Yeah. You can still. I think it's not too late to negotiate or to get a.
You mean you didn't get that special Hank Strange code?
Yes.
No, it's always good to get the. You guys make a lot of the bipods, right, Walt?
We have bipods in stock, I think.
Yeah. What do you guys sell the bipod for on its own?
Normal bipod by itself is
add 20% to it, and then take 5% off, and then sell it to Rich.
I'm looking for something. I don't think it's over here.
Oh.
Normal price on the bipod's $140.
That's not bad.
Yeah, we make them all, the whole thing, and it clamps on with Picatinny rail, so you can use that bipod on anything that has Picatinny on the front. But yeah.
Yeah. So we got a couple of things. Armament and Axes before said that I should have pulled over and bought that thing that Walter was talking about. I don't know, why do I have to do that if I'm talking to Walter and he could do it?
Oh, the 9mm 1911.
Yeah, why do I have to do that? I just talk to Walter. Walter can do it, and then we'll settle it out later.
I'll know for next time. I'll
just put it on my tab. Put it on my tab.
Next.
Yeah.
That's a sugar-free drink, right? Tab.
Right. I'm pretty sure I have a tab over there. I'm pretty sure.
Well, we'll be doing a video for you folks out there on 1911s, because I have 3 .45 caliber ones, an original World War II one, a Filipino one, and an American one, and now this will be a Turkish 9mm. And I know Patrick's got the one he built. You got the polymer lower one, correct?
Yes, I've got the polymer 45 one. Yeah. Do we have? Yeah, someone's got a 22 1911. I don't know if that was
does.
Patrick. Okay.
Patrick does.
Yeah.
So he's got both now. So yeah, we have a plethora of 1911 type firearms to rock and roll.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll be in something that we do. We probably need to get together and do some stuff. One of the things we have to get together and do, we need to do our annual, hurricane season.
Generator. Yes, it's
video.
For those folks who don't know, that have been preoccupied with making sure they contact their senators and congressmen about the upcoming gun legislation. And I know everybody's done that, right? Well, as much as you can. But today is June 1st, which is the first day of hurricane season.
Hurricane season.
Yes, hurricane season.
And we here in Florida are looking at a possible tropical depression over the weekend.
Were you going to say a tropical?
A tropical.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good drink. Can we make some?
Yeah. Lola sent me a whole bunch of emails here that I got to show while you're saying that. NOAA predicts above normal 2022 Atlantic hurricane season. But what?
And they did last year also.
Yeah.
All right. Those boneheads. You know what? Look. They're about as
I don't care what the NOAA Magic 8 Ball says.
There's how they pick the flu vaccine every year. They kind of guess at it. That's what NOAA does. They go, well, yeah, we're gonna have 100 storms. We need to be here. We're vital. Here's 100 storms. Yeah, you're probably better off to get the Farmer's Almanac and read the Farmer's Almanac, and you'll probably get. They're pretty accurate.
What does the Farmer's Almanac say for this year? Hurricane season.
I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but
okay.
They typically.
Nobody's bought one in 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at what they probably do is they take all the previous year stuff and they kind of average things out, and there's cycles in the storm patterns and all that stuff. So
yeah, Brian Quick says first name storm will be named Amber.
Yeah.
And it'll blow hard for $2 million.
Oh boy.
Amber must have been able to suck a golf ball through a garden hose. So
anyway. Here's a survey. So here's another thing that Lola said. Survey reports 25% of Floridians say they won't evacuate their homes if told to for a hurricane. So where do you guys come down on that? We're all Floridians here. Where do you come down? Let's find out from Rich first. If a hurricane is going through, you're the furthest south, Rich.
All right.
So you're gonna get it.
And Rich, what is your elevation? What's your elevation?
Oh yeah, that's a good question too. What's your elevation? Where you're...
So I'm not in an evac zone. I'm actually I might be like 46 feet. It's not that high.
Okay.
But
Water's not a problem.
I'm
not
west
bad, though.
of 95 in the turnpike, but I'm 10 miles from the shore. So
yeah,
if
I don't
something
think
comes
you're. I
on
don't think
shore-
you're 45 feet. I'm gonna call shenanigans on that 45 feet assumption. There's. I don't think in that part of Florida that you're 45 feet above sea level.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if you're. I'll be surprised if you're 10 feet above sea level. How many feet are you above sea level?
I'm upwards of between 20. It depends on which. I've always thought we're 20 foot above, but I think we're actually higher than 20 foot above. But we're on a rise, yeah. So I'm not in the evacuation zone either. So.
Oh, okay. Huh. Okay, Rich, you got to look up your address and see what your actual elevation is. Come on.
I don't know how to figure that out.
I don't know. There has to be a thing that'll say what's the elevation of an address, I'm guessing. I know mine is about 60 feet above sea level. But I'm way further north than you two guys, and I'm in the middle of Florida.
Yeah,
the highest point of Florida is like 400 feet, maybe 430.
Correct.
And that's like
where Trey lives.
Where Trey is that high? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay. So, I just Googling it says elevation of Jupiter Farms Road, Florida is 26 feet.
Boom, there you go. Okay. That's not bad though. That's still
Where
not
I'm
bad for that
right-
area. There's people in that area. There's people in the whole like West Palm Beach area that are like below sea level, so that's not bad.
Oh, really? Oh, I had no idea.
Man. Yeah, there's some places in that area are below sea level. Okay, so anyway, Walter wanted to know what your elevation is, but what will you do if you're told you're getting hit right in the, what do you call your thing, the Chaz zone?
Fraz
zone.
FlyingRich autonomous zone.
Yeah, are you evacuating or not evacuating?
Hell no. The Fraz zone is impervious to all storms and Second Amendment regulations.
Okay.
You still hear me? Yeah, you can hear me.
Yeah. FlyingRich is like Moses. He's gonna part the seas. He's gonna part the seas.
I walked outside and sat the phone on the ground and said it was like, okay, this app is full of shit.
What's you didn't? You
Well,
went
200 feet.
You went to see your elevation? Okay.
Well, it says it's like 44, and as my grandfather would say, I don't believe it, you phone.
Yeah, I don't believe that either for where you live. I don't believe you're that high.
It's closer to 30, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, but that's still pretty high considering there's people at the bottom, down the bottom of the road on Main Street. They're a foot above sea level. So.
Okay, so Walter, are you evacuating if they tell you something's coming through the safety hoppers?
No. It would have to be the cataclysmic kind of storm, where it's a Category 5 kind of thing. Mm-hmm. During Katrina, when the Category 5, there were places that got 30 feet of water. Depending on the shape of the land and how the water gets pushed up into
but Katrina was like 19 feet below sea level, wasn't it? Or it was, Katrina was, or not Katrina, but
New Orleans.
Well, New Orleans is below sea level.
It's like 8.
With Armslist, you can shop the extensive list of local and nationwide firearms classified, now with more confidence because of their built-in firewall. For only $6.99 a month for personal use, or $30 a month for business vendors, so when you're in the market, please consider Armslist. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Armslist. We got cut off there again. Okay, so
when I was talking about 30 feet of water, I'm not talking about in the city of New Orleans.
Yeah,
I was talking about like in Mississippi, where the land shape, the water's funneled in. Mm-hmm. There was people that had really high water in some places.
Yeah,
but that's not everywhere. So, am I leaving? Probably not.
Probably not. Okay, let me see. So I'm going to ask myself that question, and my answer is going to be hell no. I'm not going anywhere. If where I'm living is getting directly smacked by a hurricane, where the hell am I going to?
Yeah, where are you going to? Yeah.
Patrick's house.
Which no, that's the opposite. That's the opposite of where. I mean, he's in Gainesville. That's gonna be worse, right?
And let me
that's
tell you,
that's jumping out of the frying pan into the fire.
All you freedom-loving people, if you really like your freedom, don't go to a hurricane shelter, because you
but
are
Patrick
locked
has a
in.
second floor.
Well, yeah. That's that may be as it is, but I'm staying right here where I'm at. I'm definitely but also like I'm in a different position. I think like being in the north central part of Florida, any hurricane is gonna usually come up and travel along the coastline. So it's gonna always be more effective on those coastlines, unless it cuts across the state somehow, which it could do. It could cut across the state, but still, by the time it gets here, it's gonna be subdued versus how the amount of energy it's going to have coming off of the water onto the coast.
Let's go back in time for a couple of years. Hurricane Charlie hit the coast below where it was supposed to, then went straight up the middle of the state. So all these people that went to Orlando and went to all these inland places got smacked with a freaking hurricane. So
how hard did they get hit though? What category was it when it hit them?
When the power goes out and and you got no power in your hotel that you're paying money for.
And room service.
Yeah. Well, the thing I'm saying is like the power's going to go out anyway, so you just got to be prepared for that.
And like I was saying, folks, don't go to a shelter if you like your freedom, because they lock you in the shelter, and they will not let you out of there. So just something to be aware of. I know I wasn't.
Yeah.
The Boy Scouts were in a camp, and we got a tropical storm. We went to the shelter. They will not let you leave.
Yeah. No, once you go in, you're locked in, yes.
You're locked in.
Yeah. This is why most people in Florida don't want to do it.
And you show up with nothing, and everybody else shows up with nothing, and there's nothing there, and everybody stinks. And as they stay longer, they stink more.
Yeah. Make sure you put on your lockable drawers when you go in there too.
So you're telling me you come 1 o'clock on a Monday, you say "fuck this, I'm out of here." At 2 o'clock, they won't let you out?
No, I don't think
they didn't let us out.
Yeah, once they get you in there
until it was all clear.
You see, they can't force you into the shelter, but when you go into the shelter, you're now in their domain. Yeah, that's just how the shelter thing.
Yeah.
But look, here's what I think: people in the Keys, if you're in the Keys and a hurricane's coming at you, right? You need to get out of the Keys. But so, like, we lived in West Palm Beach, which West Palm Beach is very close to sea level, if not below sea level. West Palm Beach. Right, so we lived there.
I hope Lois Frankel's house is under sea level.
Where do we live? We lived in a place called Green Acres in West Palm Beach. I don't know if you know where that is. It's a community.
That's a place to be. Farm living's a life for me.
Right. It was a community called Green Acres.
Ask Jaja Gabor, she'll tell you.
Yeah, I think it was right off Lake Worth Road. But anyway, that place got hit when we first went to live there. I think it was 2005. That place got hit by like 3 hurricanes in that year, if I'm not mistaken. If it wasn't 2005, it was 6. I think when was Katrina? 5? Was it 05?
Katrina was in 05, yeah.
Yeah. Katrina was one of them that went through West Palm Beach. It actually went into the Atlantic, came back across, and did all that kind of stuff. But guess what? The houses were different. These were like block houses. We had hurricane shutters and all that kind of stuff. So we were in place, and one of those hurricanes that hit at that time was a Category 5, and we were in the house. We were fine. I think we had those Bahama tiles on the roof. We lost a couple of those. That's it. We lost like maybe 2 or 3 tiles. But so you don't, in my opinion, you don't have to leave and necessarily go anywhere based on where you are. You can ride through. If we rode through a Category 5, in West Palm Beach that hit us directly,
You better make sure you have a generator. You better make sure you don't have all these huge oak trees over your house.
Right.
Okay, so I just checked. Palm Beach International is 20 feet above sea level.
Above sea level? Okay.
Yeah.
Palm Beach International. That's I know where that is. I used to live not far from there. Yeah, as well. But that didn't happen when we lived in that particular place. But yeah, I think that it's up to people. They need to make decisions of what they're going to do. But if you're in the Keys, I would say get the hell out of the Keys, man.
Oh yeah.
The Keys don't fuck around down there, man.
No.
Yeah. Unless your house was like built like a submarine or something.
You have to be. Well, like my brother-in-law's house in New Orleans with Katrina, he was like 15 or 17 feet. His house up on stilts, and all the other houses on his street, all gone.
Yeah.
Gone. Bye-bye. No longer there. He was the only one left because he was higher. He was higher than the floodwater, the tide surge. So.
Yeah. Cruiseman says a few years ago, my mom's property flooded. She lived in Inverness.
Inverness, yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the. I mean, you can flood inland if you live in next to a swamp, or you're living next to a. There's areas that flood inland just because they hold the water, they retain the water.
Yeah.
Too,
so where I live. And I don't live that close to the Swanee, but all the people I live far away from the Swanee.
Oh yeah.
But the people who live in the Swanee, oh my gosh, man, they get smacked up.
Every hurricane storm season by us, there's people that live on these rivers, Manatee River and these other ones south of us. They get people get flooded every year. It's like it's a given. You have a lot of rain and you're going to have floodwater. So
yeah.
It's on a barge.
Yeah, if the ground is already wet, what happens, right? If the ground is already wet, water can't.
Got nowhere to go.
Yeah, the water can't go past that. So that's
You gotta. I mean, that's when we were buying our house in Safety Harbor here. I looked at some of these houses and I got in the front yard and I looked down the street and I can see the water. When you get down low, the water's like right there, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it might not happen once every 100 years. The last bad hurricane in Tampa Bay was, I think, 21. That's where the whole Tampa Bay area flooded. Everything flooded.
That's also when is that when not Safety Harbor? Isn't that when St. Augustine got hit pretty hard too, or was that 20?
I don't know. This one here, the Oldsmobile, the person whose last name was Oldsmobile had the car company. He built a factory in Safety Harbor, and all the machines in the factory got washed out after that hurricane, and he left. Yeah, that was his last. That was the last of Oldsmobile in Safety Harbor. Yeah. So.
Oh, I had no idea Oldsmobile was in Safety Harbor.
Yeah.
When was this?
Oh, it was actually in Oldsmar, the next little town, which is all the way at the top of the bay. So I think during that storm, I used to live in Tampa off of Bayshore, and we lived on a high part of Bayshore, and the old lady that lived across the street, when she died, she was like 100. She was around then, and she said there was a foot of water in their yards on El Prado, and that is fucking ass high water to get a foot of water in that yard. So that was the rest of Tampa was underwater. So
yeah. So I looked this up. When you get bored on the highway. I had Lola look this up.
You could have bought a gun.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
go. It's too late for that, Walt. It's too late. It's too late. If you're already there. Anyway, listen.
Okay,
so
back to your story.
I was looking this up because I wanted to know, right? How high is a tsunami? How high do you guys think a tsunami is?
It depends on a lot of things.
What's the highest tsunami how high do you think the highest tsunami?
They had a tsunami. Have you heard the stories about the like in 17 something or other, where there was a big earthquake in some place and the floodwaters in Alaska were like 100+ feet high from a tsunami?
A tsunami could go to 100 feet.
There's marks still where they can see the tree line is different.
Yeah.
Where the tsunami was.
So if Florida is about to get, I'm just talking doomsday scenarios for you guys.
I mean, can I tell you a doomsday scenario for Florida?
Okay, go ahead. Doomsday scenario.
Over in the Azores, I believe it is, the Azores, the islands out in the Atlantic. There's a old volcano that's sitting there. It was cracked down the middle, and they say if the rest of that falls, it's going to create a tsunami that could be, for the east coast of the United States, let's just say unpleasant. Very unpleasant. You might get a 20 or 30 foot wall of water hitting like Florida,
Yeah.
That would go inland.
Everyone on the everyone right on the coast is
it would go inland for miles. Actually, they say so. Yeah.
Yeah, tsunami of 100 feet. Forget about it, man. I'm gonna see that water. Yeah. I'm gonna see that water where I'm at. I'm not gonna be flooded, but I'll see it.
You're gonna get some seashells at your house.
Yeah.
They're gonna be mullets in your front yard.
Yeah, there's gonna be some dolphins flipping around. Yeah. 42 Chill says the Great Labor Day Hurricane of 1935 was so powerful that it sandblasted clothing off of people who got caught in its vicious winds, destroyed nearly every structure in the Upper Keys, and killed about 500 victims.
There's stories about that the people who work on the railroad and building the railroad and stuff, whole trains just got washed right off the tracks. Yeah, that was bad.
You know what's funny? If you look at a lot of sci-fi series kill off Florida. Have you guys ever realized that? A lot of
they're jealous. That's all they are.
There's a lot of sci-fi stories that Florida gets hit by an asteroid, or aliens or something like that. Just fuck up Florida. Like the rest of America is fine, but they basically castrate America by chopping off the schlong. Why do you think that is? You think people just hate Florida so much?
They're jealous.
They're like, this is according to Al Gore, Florida shouldn't even be here now. Neither should California.
Come on. We were supposed to run out of we were supposed to run out of oil in 2000 something, right?
Yeah.
Remember that when I was a kid, they kept saying that shit. 1980s we're gonna run out of oil. Come on, what happened? 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
When they burned during the first Gulf War, when all the oil wells were burning, the world was going to end then too, with like a nuclear winter.
Yeah. Night Train says, "Head for the hills. Florida was never meant for human habitation." What? Florida is the best. Florida is the best state in the union. I'm just telling you right now.
Didn't you hear about the alligator that killed the guy at the park? I think it was in Tampa.
Recently?
Yeah, like over the weekend, I think.
This weekend?
So. Yeah, apparently there's a frisbee golf place near a park. I think it was Tampa. And the homeless people fish out the expensive frisbee golf frisbees and sell them back to people. This guy lost his arm to the gator and bled out.
Wow. Homeless dude?
Yes. And I don't think he sold the frisbee.
Oh.
So, wait, where was this again? In Tampa?
Did the gator have an assault weapon?
Oh, yeah, hold on a second. I see Florida man killed in possible alligator attack while searching lake for frisbees. Oh, man. That's not the way to die.
Florida man.
Yeah, Florida man. Yeah, it's a Florida man. It's a Florida man. They got to put that in there, CNN. They got to get the... they got to get the algorithm going.
If New York man, it's always... Florida man.
Yeah, a man searching a Florida lake for frisbees may have died as a result of a possible alligator attack, according to a news release from Largo Police Department. The victim, who authorities have identified as 47-year-old Sean McGinnis, was discovered along the shoreline of Taylor Lake in Largo, Florida, by a bystander walking their dog early Tuesday morning. Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm all for. We've hearing, they've let the alligators just do whatever they want all over the place. You never had to worry about that shit at one time where you're going to walk out and you're going to get attacked by an alligator. Even if you're hanging out by a lake,
What do you mean by that? What do you mean they let the alligators do whatever they want? The alligators can have sex wherever
the alligators, you don't have no right to that alligator, he belongs in that water. You have no right. You can't judge him.
Yeah. Well, remember the thing? Do you remember the video with the cops following the alligator recently? And he was walking through neighborhoods. Do you remember that, Walt? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Well, I probably have, because the ginormous one or something.
Yeah, they're just following him, and then he goes back in the lake, and they're like, "Oh, he's good. He's back in the lake." Until some kid walks down to that lake.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking? It's like there's no shortage of alligators. Click, click, boom. He's a belt. Now move to the next one.
A belt? You know how much cool stuff we can make out of that big ass alligator?
Wait, think about that. Wait, you know what the best thing you can make out of an alligator is a back scratcher.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my god.
Oh my
That
God.
will scratch your whole back off your body.
I
You know,
get
there
one of
was-
those.
Don't
This thing is
accident.
very aggressive.
Can you imagine
Oh,
if
yeah.
Walter
Oh, yeah,
accidentally?
baby. Oh,
Can you
oh,
imagine
yeah.
if
Oh,
Walter
yeah.
repurposed
Oh,
that
yeah.
to a nut scratcher? He won't have any. Nuts ripped out in one
Can you
fell
imagine
swoop.
if you use this like a weapon?
Oh my god, man! That thing needs to be licensed. That's at least 10mm claws right there.
Okay, for all you Yankees that are watching, this is what you get when you stop at those stores in Florida. You can buy
This
you
is
can
gonna
buy
be-
scratchers. You can buy alligator heads.
This is gonna
You
be
can
the
get all
thumbnail. I can tell.
I see them
was
on
saying-
Amazon.
What's
Is that genuine? Is that a genuine alligator?
Oh, that's real. That's not fake. That's a real claw.
Oh, the
Shooting
one on
gallery.
Amazon's made of rubber.
Oh, shooting gallery. You know what? I think you're better off with a rubber one, Rich, because that one will scratch your whole back off you.
No, it's not for me. I want to send it to Dark.
That frickin' thing that Walter's showing you there will rip your spine out of your back.
Oh, I need one. I want to send it to Dark.
Shooting gallery says, with all this doomsday talk, I still want to move to Florida. And Cruiseman says, did that say Largo? I used to live there. So there you go.
Yeah, so Largo. Yeah. The funny part is people they come down here and they go, man, you got bugs and you got rattlesnakes and
Everything.
alligators. And,
Everything in
and,
Florida.
and it's like they're coming to it like they're just attacking them. And it's
Yeah.
like,
And they like Northerners' blood. Yes.
Yeah, but you know what's like? First of all,
Mosquitoes this big.
This is Jurassic Park. Florida is Jurassic Park. I got my hair cut today, and me and Mo were talking about this at the barbershop. You know, Florida is freaking Jurassic. Everything lives here in Florida, man. What does not live in? Let me tell you. So there was some friends who came to visit us, right? They came in a fifth wheel, and they were here on our property for 2 days. When they went to leave, okay, on the second day, in their fifth wheel, you know where you drive the truck under and you hook in?
Yeah.
There was a freaking bird's nest. And they're like, how the hell could there be?
Already?
Yeah. They're like, how could this be?
Wow.
It's
This
spring.
this is Jurassic Park, for crying out loud. Everything lives here, man. Everything lives in Florida.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and if it doesn't, it wants to.
Yeah, man.
Yankees.
I love it. It's awesome. But yes, at the same time, it's crazy. And if you can't handle nature, yeah, for sure, don't live
All
in
right,
Florida.
Armand Axis brought up a very good point. There's no polar bears. Okay.
How does he know that? How does he know there's no polar bears?
There are bears here, though. There are real black bears, but there's
This
no
black
polar
bear here,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Panthers.
Bobcats,
yeah,
panthers,
well,
every kind of freaking snake you can think of.
yeah,
Coyotes.
Hawks,
Coyotes,
eagles,
yeah,
bald
yeah.
eagles.
mhm.
You can go on.
Owls,
and on
like
and on.
this, the owls here are ridiculous. The
Oh, I
owls
like
in Florida.
owls.
No, I like owls too. But these owls, I see owls taking squirrels off my property all the time.
Bonus.
I'll see those owls come down, and you see like a little squirrel getting flied off with. I was like, oh, you done. It's over. It's over for you. Yeah.
Next thing you know, that beak's going right in yo.
Yeah. The owls here, I think, are just as vicious as an eagle or anything else, man.
They're hungry.
Yeah, you know. I'm not knocking
You
it.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool
Squirrels
to
are
see
nothing
them.
but furry rats, anyways. So.
Yeah. Shooting Gallery
most
says
part.
iguanas. Yeah, but you know, iguanas shouldn't be here. A lot of there's a lot of snakes that shouldn't be here too, but they're gonna live here.
Right. The iguanas. If you see an iguana, you need to off that thing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure if a polar bear escaped from the zoo here, he would still survive. He'd be fine. He could live here. He's not gonna die. He'll go out into the woods and mate with an alligator and be a polar gator or something like that. But
I was watching a show about polar bears, a documentary thing one time. I was surprised how far south they come. Down Hudson Bay, how far they actually migrate.
really,
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of a DAO, or decentralized autonomous organization like TUSC Crypto. TUSC cryptocurrency is a firearm-friendly e-commerce option for online payment transactions, secured on the blockchain. So when you're in the crypto market, please consider TUSC, TUSC.
All right, sorry about that, Walt. I'll let you continue that thought.
No, it was amazing to see. I didn't realize that you think polar bear polar, right? Well, when it's frozen in Canada, and then they migrate and they come down, and it was like, wow, that far south.
Yeah, everything. I mean, but a lot of stuff is coming down. Those black bear that you see here are coming all the way from the north down here. Those guys are walking.
No,
they're coming all the way down.
I mean, there's the black bear in Florida live here all year round. They don't migrate.
They're coming down. They're coming down, Walt. They're snowbirds, just
Okay,
like everybody
okay.
else.
Come down to New Jersey just for spring break.
Yeah.
come down for baseball season.
They come down. They come down through it. Well, let me see. How close does
Spring training.
Spring
training?
Where does the Appalachian Trail end? I know it doesn't end in
Appalachian
Florida.
Trail and the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah, but where? What state is that? Is that Tennessee?
Georgia, probably. Well, I don't know.
Does anyone know this offhand without me looking it up?
I've never.
I'm pretty sure they walk down the Appalachian Trail, get on a bus, or something like that, and then just mosey on down into Florida. No, there's all kinds of shit here.
Wild hogs, lots of wild hogs. So
there's wild horses also. I was telling
where
in Florida.
Where?
Yeah, there's wild horses. Yeah, are you kidding me? You haven't seen there's everything here, man.
At the hacienda?
Not at the hacienda, but we got all kinds of stuff here.
I have never seen a wild.
All right, hey,
we got we got all kinds of shit here.
Wait, when was the last time you saw a wild horse?
I'm gonna Google it right now. I know I've seen. Okay, there's definitely wild cows in Florida.
I've never even seen alligators.
Wild cows.
Scrub
I
cattle,
saw one.
You've never seen what? You've never seen what in Florida?
I've never even seen an alligator in Florida, but one.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. No, he knows he's seen. He knows he's seen
As
alligators.
like Grandpa Keller says, I don't believe it you.
Yeah.
Well, I did see one.
Okay, so right here, if you look this up, see that right there, Paynes Prairie State Park.
Paynes Prairie. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Wild Horse Rescue Center. That's right here. That's not far from where I live.
Wait. Are you telling me there's wild horses at the Wild Horse Rescue Center?
There's wild horses in Florida, damn it. Where do you guys? So you guys. I had this conversation with Patrick. I thought Walter was part of the conversation, but I don't think Walter was doing something. But okay. Have you ever heard the term cracker cowboys? You heard about the cracker cowboys?
Crackers are the people who cattle.
They're cowboys, right? And they're here in Florida. Yeah. And what did they ride on, the cowboys? Did they ride on alligators?
They rode on horses that were brought here by the Spanish, a lot of them too, which were wild. Okay, you win. All right, there you go. Boom.
Okay, and they moved.
Does everybody know horses aren't native to North America?
No, they're not native.
No. Where did they come from?
Europe.
They came from the Europeans and the Spanish and everything.
Can you imagine being 3 months on a ship with a horse?
First thing you're going to do, a horse is going to run like hell when it gets on the land.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, so a lot of stuff did get dropped off, but they lived here. But look, this is the thing just so you guys who don't believe me, Paynes Prairie Preserve State Park, which is very close to Gainesville. It's actually part of Gainesville. Florida's first state preserve is biologically, historically, and geologically, and phrenology and podology.
It is.
If you go down here, hold on. Far from the far west, herds of wild horses and bison roam the prairie in this surprisingly diverse preserve south of Gainesville.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Okay, Walt, you got to give up that 9mm 1911.
Okay, the horses I can believe because they get away.
There's bison out there. There's bison.
But they put them back out there. They're not.
No, I've been walking through that thing. It will shock you what you will find in that freaking thing. It's
but
scary.
What I'm saying is, the white dogs killed off. At one time, there used to be elk in Florida. Okay, well, the white dogs and bison, naturally occurring bison, but the white dogs, us folks that like to eat meat, we killed them all off. And we pushed all that funny business like in Tennessee and Kentucky. They killed all them too.
Supposedly we killed off all the Bigfoot, but Bigfoot is still fucking walking around. Okay.
I can't even have a sensible conversation.
No, listen.
What-
Most of those have gotten killed off, and I think maybe why would they re-import back in something that shouldn't be here in the first place? There's some
So they
there's some
think
little
people
bison.
like tickets
There's
to
some
go to a bar?
bison. Some bison.
Why do we
some-
have wolves and stuff in these states?
Did you ever see Bambi? Did you ever see Bambi?
Yeah, and that's a
Okay.
fairy tale.
So Bambi's mama got killed. Bambi was still running around. What happened when Bambi
Bambi.
grew up? Revenge of Bambi. Okay.
Bambi.
The bison is still out there.
Run,
There's still
Bambi,
bison.
run! I've ever seen that. Run, Bambi, run!
Cruiseman says the horses and bison are imported into Florida. No, those
Yeah.
bad boys live wild though. They live wild. They're out there living wild. I don't know.
They might live wild now, but the bison probably were brought back.
Yeah, okay.
Betcha.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that. I'm not gonna argue it. I'm
Now
not
the
gonna argue
horses,
it.
they horses get out. That happens,
Yeah.
But it's not
No,
like
I think
you see
well, if you had the cowboys, right? So those cracker cowboys, they were following their herds around. They didn't believe in keeping their herds like penned in to one place. So they followed them around, and they had babies.
But-
Some of the babies were stragglers, and
But
got
those were
lost
not
in the
bison.
wilderness.
They were not herding
Well,
bison.
there was a
They were
couple of
herding-
they were herding bison sometimes.
They were herding mostly the Brahma, the domesticated, the Spanish, the cattle that the Spanish brought over.
Yeah. Where did those cracker cowboys come from? Were they no, they weren't Spanish, were they? No.
No. Probably from everywhere. That's it's.
I thought they were German. Okay, I gotta look that up. I thought
Really?
those cracker. Yeah, I thought they were like Germans and Dutch.
I bet it was a very.
I thought they were
a,
Dutch
very,
and all that kind. Okay.
a very diverse background to the settlers in Florida, probably.
Yeah, I gotta.
You had to be a special person to live in Florida way back when.
Mhm.
That
That
air
wasn't for the-
conditioning.
Yeah, no air conditioning,
Yeah.
no mosquito control,
Well,
no
so
air conditioning.
yeah, that's what Brian Quick says. If you think about it, Florida would be a reasonable place to survive if you had to live off the land, plenty of wildlife to hunt, bodies of water for fishing, and aside from hurricanes,
Yeah,
you don't have
there's
to worry about
plenty to
freezing to
eat.
death. Yeah.
They're
You
crafty.
if we lost all technology and you didn't have air conditioning, you could survive.
In the
It'd be
Keys.
hot. No, not in the
No, in
Keys. Not in the Keys.
In a properly designed, uninsulated structure, yes, you can just survive just fine. Yes.
I think.
You
Yeah,
look at-
listen.
you look at
just
those
you
old-
just
you look at
wear
those
less
old-
clothes. Okay, you wear less clothes. I mean, you during the day you sleep during the day and you hunt at night.
Okay.
It's no. Listen. All kidding aside, Florida, you could survive. People did it for how long? When do you guys think we got air conditioning in Florida, man? That had to be like, I'm gonna say air conditioning and all that in Florida because I still see ice houses. So when was air conditioning? Like the 60s?
No.
Where do you see ice houses?
Yeah,
I still
we
see
ice houses.
I still see ice houses here where I live.
There's people who sell ice. There's companies that sell ice, but
Well, I mean, I don't know if that ice house is still running. But,
Okay.
So you're telling me the ice house where in the winter when the lake freezes they saw hunks of ice and bring it with horses.
I don't know how they got the ice in. I don't know how the hell the ice got to Florida. Okay, but it wasn't naturally made. There's no place in Florida you could naturally make
But-
that ice.
But the lakes
Modern-
in Florida freeze.
Okay,
Modern
go
air
ahead.
conditioning is a post-war thing in Florida.
Yeah, I would say the 50s or 60s, right?
Post-World War II.
Yeah. So
Because there was an abundance of building, an abundance of money, and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah. So here you go. Florida cracker, right? On Wikipedia. Florida crackers were colonial era British and American pioneer settlers in what is now the U.S. state of Florida. The term is also applied to their descendants to the present day and their subculture among white Southerners. The first crackers arrived in 1763 after Spain traded Florida to Great Britain. Following the latter's victory over France in the 7 Years' War, though much of traditional Florida cracker folk culture dates to the 19th century. So that's that I didn't know, and that's interesting. When I guessed it, I wouldn't have said England, but that's cool. So those are Brits.
Well,
interesting.
Yeah, the first. I'd be willing to bet you there was a diverse community of settlers looking to to do their thing. Because Florida used to be second in the country in cattle. Now I think it's third in the country in cattle. So because of development, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like where I live, I see. Do you remember when Oprah got into the thing with the beef? It's what's for dinner, dudes.
I guess.
Remember that whole lawsuit? And at that time, I wasn't living in Florida, and I thought, hey, that's just Texas. But around where I live, I see those beef, it's what's for dinner stickers everywhere. There's still a lot of cow farms out here. Yeah, there's a lot of cattle out here. So there you go.
Yep, Florida's got a lot of agriculture. Once you get away from the coast.
Yes.
Yeah, where I'm living now, someone was telling me this the other day. This was the watermelon capital of the world.
Really?
Yeah, the most watermelons. The most watermelons were grown here. There was a lot of watermelon plantations and farms and stuff like that out. And there's still a lot of watermelons out here. You know, like right now I've seen those guys, you know how they take the old yellow school buses and they kind of like
Yes. I saw that on my ride out to Safety Harbor.
Yeah. So I think we're in watermelon season right now, if I'm not mistaken. Because I've seen those guys driving around getting the watermelons. When
did I come by? Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. No, that was last week, wasn't it?
Again, yeah.
If you think about it, look, you could get Florida has sugar cane. So you got your sugar. I mean, all you really
they burn that. That's rough.
Yeah, that's all you need to survive the freaking apocalypse right there, sugar. Then if you got your watermelon, you got your you got your refreshments. You know, everything is alive here, so you got plenty of squirrels, alligators,
I got rabbits,
deer everywhere.
Oh yeah, there's a shit ton of deer. Yeah. There's rabbits too. I've got a ton of rabbits on my property. People used to eat those gopher, like the gopher tortoises are protected now. You can't eat them or you go to jail.
That's why they're protected.
People used to eat the crap out of those things.
Well, I like turtles. Leave them alone. Come on.
Yeah.
I like turtles.
Yeah, Lola's talking about.
You still got turtles on your property?
Yes. I don't mess with them. If anyone from the ATF
you're not supposed to touch them at all.
No, they don't. I don't own this place. They do, basically. They do whatever the hell they want to do. If you look around, that's why you'll see you'll see these little caves in the ground.
Yeah.
On the property, that's where those little bastards live in, and they are vicious, man. They used to bite the crap out of Sailor.
You know what else lives in those holes too?
Snakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Armament and Axis says Hank needs a history lesson about ice. Okay, Armament and Axis, you smart ass.
Baby.
So let me explain this to Armament and Axis, because even though he's an old fart, he doesn't realize that back in the days there were these things called trains. You know, and the trains brought the ice down, bro. That's where the ice came off the trains, bro. They traveled from Alaska. Okay, I'm just messing around. Everything you need to survive the apocalypse is in Florida. That's if they wanted to know what happened to remember Atlantis, how Atlantis got lost?
Yeah.
Florida.
You talking about Stargate Atlantis, or you talking which Atlantis are you talking about?
Florida. Florida is Atlantis. The legendary Atlantis of legend, I guess.
Legendary of legend. Yeah.
Yeah. There was ice houses in Florida now. Don't make me Wikipedia this for you. Okay. There was ice houses.
And there's a very famous Florida ice hole also.
Okay. Go ahead. Elaborate on that.
Yeah.
No, that was a joke.
I almost searched. I'm looking for I'm looking for ice houses. Now I got to look up ice houses. I don't know what the hell is happening to this particular show. We're so far off the rail.
Off the rails.
We're supposed to be. We're supposed to be talking about a guest here. This is what it says, guest.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Oh, well, that would be the venerable, honorable FlyingRich, but you know, we don't. FlyingRich is all up in this convo. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna pull this up. For Armament and Axis because, you know, he dared to challenge me when I have my own Google machine. You know, so he thinks I don't know about ice. But now it's not loading. Oh, okay, it's not loading now. But listen, if you look at this very closely, see right there, Crystal Ice House, Pensacola, Florida, roadside America, built in 1932. There you go. So they had ice houses out here, damn it. You know.
Well,
hey, come on, I'm a freaking Yankee, okay? I'm a Yankee, and I know about ice houses.
The poors had to have ice, but the rich folk, they had them thing called a refrigerator. So when they had electricity. Yeah, there's refrigerators in 1932. You ever seen the ones with they have the compressor on top of the refrigerator?
Well,
I've seen the old ones. Yeah, I've seen that in the Honeymooners. So here we go.
My elementary school had that.
Pensacola, Florida, Crystal Ice House. There you go. In the 1930s, it made sense to buy ice from a building that looked frozen. Too bad the old ways have been forgotten. There it goes. Okay. So people used to Crystal Ice House, southeast corner of Davis and Jordan behind the hurricane fence. Yeah.
How much ice could they have in that house?
There you go. See, a drive-through ice distribution house built in 1932. So you know what, Armin and Axis? You can go suck on those ice chips right there. There you go.
But they were probably making the ice in that house.
Right.
In 1932, they had like a big freezer in there, you think?
I don't see a rail yard next to that ice house.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably on
have we settled? I don't know if we've settled. Like, you guys are challenging every single damn thing. Every damn thing that I'm saying. And you know what I wanted to talk about, honestly, all kidding aside? JSD supply. I did want to talk.
Is there news today? I didn't get news.
No, there's no news, but I did want to tell people that if you want to support these guys, the ATF is trying to cut these guys off. Well, you know, we've got like 2 minutes here, but what you could do, you could either go to the Give, Send, Go or go to JSD Supply, and you'll notice right there, it says Help Fight for Your Rights. They're selling a t-shirt. Go buy the t-shirt from them. That helps support them right now. They can't sell anything else, and they've got a bunch of employees, and you know, the ATF effectively here is trying to choke them off.
So it's givesendgo.com/JSD, or let's see, what is the guy? John bought another domain. I forget what it was.
I can't remember the BBC. Somebody loves BBC.
Yes. Who's the Attorney General of Pennsylvania? I can't think of his name, but it's
someone's going to tell me.
Attorney General of Pennsylvania likes BBC, and that's BritishBroadcastingCorporation.com.
Right. We know better than that. We know better than that, okay?
Bloody hell, he locks the BBC.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull the... Oh, there we go. Is this... here we go. So here's the Give, Send, Go that that Rich is talking about right there. So that's givesendgo.com/JSD, okay? So
they were supposed to be in court today, and there was supposed to be, I think, a decision on the temporary restraining order against the ATF, but I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything either. You know, I did speak to Jordan, I think, I think I spoke to him a couple of days ago. Basically, the ATF retracted or rescinded their...
All right, can I talk to you about that? Because this'll take more than 30 seconds.
Yeah, so what we should do here is, encourage everyone to go support JSD Supply. I'm not kidding here. I know it seems like it's a company. You don't have to worry about them. But these guys have done a lot. We were talking earlier about companies that don't really care about the Second Amendment. These guys do. and they've sacrificed a lot in order to do that. And right now, the ATF is trying to choke them off. We're going to be right back here in a second, and Rich is going to explain.
The Who Moved My Freedom podcast is made possible by our partners at 2A Commerce. Veteran-owned and with over 20 years' experience, 2A Commerce is the leader in custom e-commerce and web application development in the shooting sports industry. Clients include major brands such as Guard Dog Body Armor, Sylvan Arms, AccuFire Technologies, The Tactical Games, Warrior Knife Company, and yours truly, Hank Strange. Visit 2A Commerce and support this show by supporting them. Once again, visit the number 2acommerce.com.
I don't understand why Lola, with her evil possessed iPad, is asking me about the ice for fishing. No, I wasn't talking about ice for fishing. No, Lola, no. When you go fishing, you don't need ice. You fish. You go in there. You go get the fish. You cook the fish. You eat the fish. You don't need to put them on ice. Just eat them. That's all you got to do. Or you could salt them if you want to preserve them. I guess you could salt them. Or you could put them in sugar. That'll preserve them too. But it'll be, I don't know, sweet fish is not going to be a good taste. It wasn't for fishing, Lola. That's not what I was talking about. Okay. And then Armin and Axis says we still had ice caves here growing up, left from breweries that got shut down from Prohibition.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so go ahead, Rich. Explain to us what's been going on.
Okay. So this is, first off, JSD, if you can't contribute, share the link. So that's givesendgo.com/JSD. All right, so here's the weird thing. What they got a cease and desist letter. In the cease and desist letter, the text of the letter said, hey, this has nothing to do with the rule change coming in 120 days. This is about the 1968 GCA, that a polymer 80 is prohibited by the 1968 GCA because it's readily convertible. Now, the 1968 GCA, readily convertible, was talking about these Italian starter pistols that had a lead ball wedged in the barrel that you could poke out with a dowel and use as a pistol. It was talking about a firearm that was somehow disabled but readily convertible back to a firearm. It wasn't talking about a hunk of plastic that was never a firearm being readily convertible to a firearm. That's where, so the ATF is full of crap.
If they could push that through, they can make a 3D printer a machine gun. I mean, let's be honest. Yes. They could say a 3D printer is readily convertible to a firearm.
All right. Technically, once you finish the frame, it is a firearm. But
correct.
When you finish that frame, you can't shoot anything out of it.
No.
Correct.
Once you knock that thing out of that starter pistol, you can put a round in and it's ready to rock and roll.
Correct. All right. So now we understand the readily convertible clause of the 1968 Gun Control Act. So when Jordan went to court, instead of arguing 1968 GCA because they knew they were full of it, they started arguing, no, it's the new rule. When the C&D, the cease and desist letter, said it's not the new rule, it's 1968 GCA.
Yeah, but
so
they jumped the gun on doing that, right? Because they were following what the Attorney General wanted them to do, right?
Well, the short of it is, we're 90 days, 60 days out of this rule taking effect, and they just didn't want everybody going crazy buying P80s from, Jordan, JSD, whoever. It doesn't matter. There's a number of companies.
Mm-hmm.
So then, because the ATF knew they were going to lose, they send a letter rescinding their cease and desist letter. But in their rescinding of the cease and desist letter, they said you still have to abide by the 1968 GCA.
Well,
yeah, so basically it's still up in the air. It's still up in the air. They can't do anything regardless.
Right.
They could do something, but they don't want to run the risk, right?
You have ATF document that's a cease and desist that says you are violating the 1968 GCA. And then you get another document from the ATF that says, oh, we're rescinding that cease and desist, but you still have to abide by the GCA.
Mm-hmm. And you have another document that says this is not a firearm.
Yeah, and you also have the Second
This
Amendment
is not a firearm.
document. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean, they don't really care. I think the point here, it's pretty clear that the point here is for them to choke JSD Supply out. JSD Supply is one of the bigger companies selling these things, and they want to make an example of them. They've done stupid stuff in the past. For example, they you could probably explain this better than me, Rich, but they went to a show over there, bought the 80%er, and then took it back to the same stupid attorney general in Pennsylvania, and he had his people illegally make that into a firearm and then try to pin that on JSD.
Yeah,
right?
so there's like 5 felonies there
that they committed.
That NBC and the Josh Shapiro, that's it, Josh Shapiro. So the NBC reporters and Josh Shapiro and his staff, like if I buy a Polymer 80 and I bring it to Hank or Walter and ask them to drill the holes and finish it for me, and that's a felony. I mean, forget that they're FFLs. That's a felony. You cannot build a gun for me out of a Polymer 80. Mm-hmm. And it's illegal in Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, in Philadelphia. Like, Polymer 80s are legal. So that there's a number of laws that they broke. So they transferred the Polymer 80 in Philadelphia, and then it was built and then transferred back to the reporter. So that's illegal also in Pennsylvania.
Breaking their own stupid laws. Breaking their own laws. Yeah.
Which, again, is just effing crazy. I mean, what's the excuse for breaking the law that you are an attorney, the head chief law enforcement officer of Pennsylvania?
It's entrapment, basically.
Yeah.
It's either they didn't break the law because the law is stupid and shouldn't exist, or they attempted to entrap someone by they themselves breaking the law and try to pin it on that person when that person committed no crime.
Biden broke the law by having a P-80 at the White House. That was illegal. They're not legal in D.C.
Yeah, but these are laws for us, not for them, the elites. They're the same people who are not going to give up their armed bodyguards, right?
Yes.
None of these people are going to give up the Secret Service, Capitol Police, or any of the other security forces that exist to protect them, right?
And that's what I say. Everybody's crying about guns and guns are bad, blah, blah, blah. Fine. Lead by example. Take all the National Guard, the cops, the D.C. police, everybody. Get rid of them. Take all their guns. Secret Service.
Yeah. I don't care. Even if they do, I agree with you, but even if they do, I'm not giving up my guns. So, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think about this, Walt? What do you think about all this? I see you being uncharacteristically quiet.
Remember that document said this is not a gun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the gun agency doesn't regulate non-guns.
Yeah. Right. I know. Yep. You know when that kind of bullshit started, Walt? Should I jog back in history a little bit to who kicked that ball and started it rolling downhill? I don't think I have to. But obviously this ball was started rolling by, President Trump. No one else is going to say it, right?
Well,
I was waiting for you to say Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
What he did energized them. Mm-hmm. You have to remember, once it's like, if somebody's stealing from you and you don't do anything to stop them, mm-hmm. Well, hell,
they'll just keep coming. Yeah, they'll just
I'm gonna
keep
take it
coming.
all, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, they're energized now. They think and they're used, and the press is on their side. So those poor children in Texas, it is terrible, but it's not my fault. It's not your fault. It's not Rich's fault. It's
No.
nobody else's fault except that son of a bitch that did what he did. And he should be the one who paid. I guess he did pay. He's dead, right? So, but it's not my fault. So I'm not going to be penalized. I shouldn't be penalized for that. Nobody else should be penalized for that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it does. It penalizes the people that, well, the law-abiding citizens. Don't say that yet.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys, I mean, whenever this happens, right? Whenever these kind of things happen and you guys talk to people, do you actually hear the real people out there in the world? I'm not talking about the politicians or, news media. Do you hear real people saying that they want less guns? Or, like me, I hear people going, this is exactly why I want to be able to defend myself or defend my children. It doesn't make people go, oh, no, I don't want this. It makes them say, I want this so that when I come across an idiot like this or horrible, evil person like this, I could defend myself.
Well, look, the people I know and talk to are like you and Walter. So nobody's like, oh, yeah, I think I'm going to give up my AR-15. I'm going to saw it in half. Not one person has said that.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Walt.
And typically...
Oh, sorry.
Typically, when crap like this happens in the world, my wife used to say, now she knows, like, do we have enough AR-15? Should you buy some more?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I got enough.
Yeah, you never have enough.
Now, let me just say that they're not a bad investment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you were gonna say something.
Let's be realistic. Let me tell you, that $399 AR-15 that you can get now, if shit goes weird, it's $1,000 overnight. Boom! Plus for you. Now, you say, well, how can you do that? Well, how can I do that?
I don't want these things to be expensive.
I don't either. I don't want it either, but that's just the world, my friend. Why is gas $5 a gallon?
Yeah. Don't worry, it could be $10. Easy. It could be
$20. The economy's gonna stop pretty soon anyways, so
yeah. I mean,
it can only go to a point where then people. I saw this thing on the internet saying people calling in, they're not sick, they're out of gas.
Yeah, I mean, at what point? If you think about it, let's say someone's gas tank is only 10 gallons is average, right? For like a 4-cylinder car, maybe more
10,
maybe
12, 15.
Yeah. So you've got to put 10 gallons in there at $5 a gallon. I think there's certain places. Like California has already hit $8 a gallon.
Yeah, I mean,
that's $80.
People can't afford it.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for it. None. Zero. Oh, besides BINDEN is the only reason. You can't blame Russia. You can't blame Ukraine.
No, we haven't exhausted all of it.
It's because of that fucking dumb senile bastard that and his policies. That's what it's for. It's not coincidental. It's not. If you're so ignorant that you believe that it's because of Russia, and you are such a dumb fuck. You don't believe that. Shouldn't be breathing. Sorry. I mean, that's what's in my head going all the time. It's like, it's not because of the Russians. It's not because of Ukraine. It's because of Biden.
I don't know what you. I mean, look. I think they're deliberately.
It's not supply chain issues. It's not.
Yeah, but they're deliberately doing this. They feel like they're saving the planet. You realize that, right?
It's not even.
I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying to you, they're deliberately doing it. They're gonna be like, "Oh, this is gonna force you to do this or do that."
No, it is.
If you can't put $50 worth of gas in your gas tank, you can't drop 50 grand to get whatever it is they think is going to be a better solution. And then on top of that, what is actually going to power that better solution?
How are you going to move the parts for the better solution? How are you going to build the parts for the better solution?
How are you going to power it?
Well, you have to use some kind of fuel. You can't do it with wind and your solar panels. I love solar panels, but you can't do it with that.
Yeah, I love them too.
You can't do it. Sorry.
No.
So stop.
I mean, even Florida is actually cleaner than California when it comes to that. Florida, I think like 75 to 78% of our electricity here in Florida is generated by natural gas, right?
But that's evil.
But California
too,
doesn't.
Natural gas is evil too.
In their minds.
Well,
in their minds.
Well,
I don't think it's evil at all.
In a mind that doesn't function normally.
Yeah.
Which that's the same folks that don't like guns.
We've got more natural.
Like meat,
we've got more natural gas in America than Saudi Arabia has oil, and we could easily power.
We have more oil than Saudi Arabia has oil.
We could easily power. A combustion engine off of that. You know that, right?
You can power combustion engines off of wood gas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not the point. There's no reason for this. It's like taking a gun and just let's spin the thing until we finally find one that goes.
Yeah, but you know what?
You're going to turn a perfectly functioning economy into a third world shithole.
But listen, I agree with you. I agree with you. But you know what the difference is? I don't think they're putting the guns to themselves. They're putting it to other people. Biden's not. He's not. He's still flying around the planet. All these people are still flying around and driving around. You know.
I understand that.
So it's not to. They are not feeling the pain of that. It's the same thing with saying, "Hey, we're going to take guns away from law-abiding people who've never hurt anyone, because we can't come up with a plan other than that." To save little kids in a school, so we're gonna take the guns away from them, but we're not gonna, but not our guns, not the guns around us, not the people protecting us or protecting our kids. They're gonna have guns, but the law-abiding people out there who are on their own. You don't have a Secret Service or Capitol Police or any kind of military or any kind of security to call when you get into some shit. But it's not them that's suffering, it's other people. So it's easy to go, yeah, fuck you guys. Yeah, you know, we'll keep pushing up that price of gas until you realize that, you know, don't go anywhere or buy electric car or whatever it is they're trying to force people to buy.
Until the folks that are scared of gluten and they're scared of peanuts and they're scared of being scared get really mad, nothing's going to change. You can't be scared of living, and you just everything. Some people are scared of their shadow. I mean, oh my God, it's following me. And it might have gluten in it. You know, it's like, get the fuck what? How? This country wasn't built on this bullshit. Sorry, the crackers didn't do their thing and survive being worried about spiders and snakes and
yeah, everything was trying to eat them. There was a lot of shit out there.
And you know what they did? They killed that shit and they ate it. They didn't.
Circle of life.
They didn't put up preserves for it, and they didn't. Yeah. They killed it and they ate it, and then they went on to the next thing. If it didn't eat them, so that's and that's how you built this country.
Yeah.
It wasn't built on worrying about. We have so much natural resources. People worry about cutting down trees and paper and all this bullshit. There are more trees in the ground in this country now than there was way back fucking when. It's a fact. We grow trees in Florida like we grow tomatoes. And there's no shortage of wood. There's no shortage. Why are you paying so much for a frickin' wood? Oh, well, you are because you're paying X amount to transport that wood on a diesel truck. It's part of the
grows on trees.
Right. Or also, one of the reasons, remember, a lot of what we're consuming isn't even coming from here. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying we're consuming a lot of stuff that's not actually coming from here, right?
We don't import. Okay, I won't say this. We do import wood, like from Canada. And,
we should.
A lot of places don't have lumber like we have. They don't cut lumber like we do in Europe. They don't cut lumber. China doesn't have any lumber. They have a lot of bamboo. They don't have enough lumber to keep themselves going. Russia has vast, it's a whole freaking world of lumber over there. But so when you start thinking about these things, it's like there's no real reason for what's going on. Well, it's not COVID anymore. COVID's done. Sorry.
No,
as much as you want to believe in COVID and that.
Yeah, but COVID, what's going to happen is that COVID and the monkeypox are going to get together and have a baby called.
Yeah, well, that's called a Democrat.
Monkeyvid, or
that's called the Democrat,
or something crazy.
And they're gonna be gluten free too. By the way, that's one of my pet peeves. Fucking gluten free. How did we survive as children and worry about gluten and peanuts?
Yeah,
I don't don't remember any of my childhood friends that were allergic to every fucking thing in the world. I don't.
Well, I think so. There might have been someone who was allergic to peanuts, and if you know that, hey, be prepared for it and don't eat it. But now apparently everyone is allergic to everything and can't stand anything, and therefore can't do anything, but is also entitled to everything.
And there's an excuse for everything. Oh, well, he's got this, that, the other, and he's a, and it's like, really? And I'll represent you in court if you need to prove it. That's another problem. But anyway, that's another old story. So.
No, I agree with you, man. I think it's it's kind of batshit craziness.
We've gotten to this point where we're just like, there's an excuse for if that shooter guy was still alive, well, he had a rough childhood. And he was scared of his mother.
We're taking a break. We're coming right back.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of manufacturers like Safety Harbor Firearms. SHF is a quintessential family-owned small business, totally representative of the American dream. Safety Harbor Firearms is a Florida-based manufacturer of the compact entry stock and the SHTF 50 upper for an AR-15 lower. Also, SHF happily delivers on your Sten gun parts needs. So don't forget to check out stenparts.com and safetyharborfirearms.com.
Yeah, listen, I would gladly let those knuckleheads take California or wherever else they want and start their utopian, awesome place. Build a wall so we can't get in, please.
It won't last 5 minutes. Without federal money, California doesn't exist.
Oh yeah, I promise you, in a very short piece of time, they'd
they'd feed upon themselves in California. The poor people that live in the country would have to dig out their guns that they've got stashed and fight off the hungry hordes. So
yeah. Well, you could tell. No, I mean, whenever they who was that politician that was getting protested by the homeless people, and she told them to go home? Rich, I'm sure Rich. Do you remember that?
Was it Nancy Pelosi?
No, it wasn't. Who the hell was that?
Einstein.
It was one of the, I think it was one of the black politicians over there in Congress.
Go home.
Yeah, I forgot her name right now.
Maxine Waters?
Maxine Waters, yeah. She was like, go home! Yeah, and she was getting protested by homeless people. You guys didn't see that?
I think I missed that one.
Yeah.
There's a reason life is so much simpler without the news. I'll tell you what.
But sometimes sometimes you miss the funny stuff,
Yeah, you miss Florida Man and everything else. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. There was. I'm pretty sure it was Maxine Waters.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, and here I know. Definitely Google won't even let me put in the search thing. Yeah. So if you look here, let me see if I could do this. Boom. Let's see if it goes. See, Rep. Maxine Waters addresses crowd looking for housing vouchers. Maxine Waters tells a group of homeless people to go home. You guys, whoever wants to look it up could go look it up. I'm not gonna waste.
Now, can you imagine if some white Republican said that to these people?
Yeah, and then
we would never hear the end of it.
Then she threatened.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, here's more of it. The Daily Mail, Maxine Waters sparks fury by telling homeless crowd to go home when they crashed LA emergency shelter event in search of housing vouchers.
Go home.
Yeah. That's what they'll tell you, They won't remember you. They won't give a crap about you.
Oh yeah.
Maxine's there for Maxine. That's the only reason she's there, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just like you see right now, they keep talking about all the things that the Black Lives Matters people have done with the money that they've got.
Oh, boy. Those people stole all that money.
They did great things.
Simply, they built themselves.
Yeah, they're living in MTV cribs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're living it up.
And the bad part is so many stupid white people gave them money, too.
So many big corporations.
Oh, well, that's typical, though, because they think they're being held at ransom. Instead of just saying, go fuck yourself, they somebody might say something about us. It's like, you know what? Say it. Go ahead. Say it.
Yeah.
In the end, all these bozos and all get brought out. And, Black Lives Matter is not Black Lives Matter anymore because white politicians stopped giving them money. Done. Over.
Yeah.
The Democrats said, yeah, no more of that monkey business. We're not playing that game no more. That cost us too much money. See ya.
Yeah, it's all crazy. It's all crazy. Okay, listen, we're way past the 9 o'clock hour here, so we do need to wrap it up. You know, and then Flying Rich has to get his beauty
sleep. His beauty
absolutely,
sleep.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to do is let these guys tell you all how you could support them, and thanks, by the way, to all the folks who hung out with us here. We went a little bit longer because we had some issues, which I blame totally on Lola Strange. You know, so let's start with Rich. Rich, tell the folks where they can find you and what you're getting up to.
So, myspace.com, FlyingRich, I'm FlyingRich over there, FlyingRich.locals.com, FlyingRich on YouTube, FlyingRich on Twitter, FlyingRich on the, it's FlyingRich_official on the grams.
Oh, okay, there you go. I forgot you're on the
Did
Twitters.
you say MySpace? Did you say MySpace?
MySpace, yes.
Yes, he did. And he's not kidding either.
Is MySpace still around?
Yes. Yeah, I figured I can't get canceled there.
You can hang out with the the Muslims.
If
the Islamists are sending each other messages.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound?
Maybe. Ask somebody on MySpace.
Right, exactly. Okay, Walter, where can the people find you, communicate with you, etc.? Bring all their complaints or questions about when the hell you're going to make more MP5 stocks.
Okay, I'll answer that question for those that are listening that gives a damn. We are making parts for those right now. I've been deburring MP5 rods today. So there's parts being anodized, there's parts being made on the machines. I can't help it. Everybody buys them when we make them.
Yeah, listen, the reason why I'm asking that question is because I'm actually connected to your Facebook, so I see all the people like, when is there more MP5? And I would, here's what I advise to people, because sometimes I feel sorry for the folks trying to ask those questions. Call the shop during business hours.
And check the website. That's all I can say, because when they become available, they'll be back up on the website.
They sell out. Yeah.
I typically don't do a lot of answering of questions on Facebook, because if I'm looking at Facebook at 11:30 at night and I answer a question and you see that and I don't respond to you immediately, people get all bent out of effing shape. So that's why I don't do that. So
yeah, what were you going to say, Rich?
They get all persnickety.
Right.
So people were asking me when I got a 50 cal from you. They're like, "Oh, they're out of stock on the website."
Yeah, I think you guys are working on that also.
Someone has to make some phone calls and tell some people we do. Well, all I'm saying is I'll be making some more.
Yes. Yeah.
Rich just got his. There's some that are actually sitting, but my wife's got to make some phone calls and
yeah. I mean, Rich, you didn't get yours immediately. Yours was in the order thing for a little while, right?
Yeah,
it was. I think I talked to Walter back in December.
Mm-hmm.
SHOT Show time we were talking about it too. So which was January. So
yeah. But I always recommend to people, listen, like seriously, I'm not trying. I do whenever I speak to people, I always say, go to the website. There's a phone number there, and call them during business hours, and someone will answer the phone, and then you can get this information
answer your
immediately.
Question. Yeah.
But other than that, go ahead.
You do what I did. I got my 50 because I brought a dozen donuts over to the shop.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the donuts will not be turned away. I don't know who ate all the donuts.
Half the donators right now are on diets, so.
Okay.
Yeah, they're trying to cut back on the carbs and all that stuff. So.
Oh really? What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
anyway, so for the people who do want to see all your different media properties, where do they go?
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Safety Over Firearms. There's Dirtfoot Racing for the mini bike and other miscellaneous stuff, military vehicles. That's on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. It's also on Utreon, both of those. You can check it out there. There's also stenparts.com. I just ordered more PPS 43 barrels. We have Mark II barrels in stock, Mark III barrels in stock. Yeah, pretty much it.
Awesome. There you go. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to run in the end. We're going to come back. Someone's going to drop words of wisdom. Should we make Flying Rich do it, Walt?
Uh-oh.
or do you want to do it,
I
Walt?
guess that's.
Who wants to do words of wisdom? Who wants to do
I'll
it?
do it.
Okay, Flying Rich will do it.
Rich
Yeah, Rich will do it. So we'll be back here in a second. Actually, tomorrow we have Paul Glasgow, Legally Armed America, will be on the show. He has a book that's very relative to all the things that have been happening here, so he'll be on tomorrow, and we will be talking about, like, I think that's going to be a good conversation that we have with Paul Glasgow from Legally Armed America. All right, with all that being said here, let me run in the end. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us here on the podcast. When it live on Utreon, obviously. If you have iTunes or Podbean or Audible or any place that you can listen to audio podcasts from, then I think you should go there and look for the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, because we rip the audio out of this and throw it up there. And before we go out, I want to show people this before we get the words of wisdom. I do have a new thumbnail for the podcast. I think I showed it to Walter and Patrick, but I'll share it with all you guys. Boom! There it goes. The new podcast thumbnail. Look at that. This is my idea for it, but I'm already using it while we get a better graphic used up or whatever. So there you go. That's the premiere of it. And
is the Earth like a cheese puff or something?
The Earth is cheese. The Earth itself is cheese. If you look at it, it's all cheese. See, like
and the continents are mold?
No, the continents are green cheese. That's a green cheese. And then this is a bite. So someone took a bite out of the cheese, because the Who Moved My Freedom podcast comes from the book Who Moved My Cheese? Who Moved My Cheese? There's a very famous book out there called Who Moved My Cheese.
I think you need a galactic-sized mouse for that.
Right. So that's
and if it's anything to do with Hank Strange, there is a translation involved in everything. So we have translated that.
Yes, there's always deeper levels and meanings
Yes.
to everything that goes on that you probably don't even see everything. All right, Flying Rich, words of wisdom.
So what the words of wisdom are: the only thing that stops evil is good people skilled in violence.
Boom, there you go. All right.
And do a good turn daily, which means, pick up some garbage, open the door for somebody,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff.
Costs nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Costs nothing to be nice, to say please and thank you, all that kind of good stuff. I would agree with that.
Be civil. Be civil.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good words of wisdom there from Flying Rich and Walter, of course. I'm going to hit the button, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Let me hit the button here. Bada bing.
Bada boom.